Welcome back, and this week, losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Fuck yeah.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies, Worst People. Yes, we're back.
Isn't that where you put the intro?
Yeah, I didn't hit the button, so it's too late.
All right.
I'll edit it in. My brain's only mostly partially working.
What an amateur podcast I'm on.
Yeah.
Dude, fix it in post. That's right.
We're
back. We're back, and it's our annual It's Gonna Be Bay episode.
It's gonna be Bay.
Where we discuss Michael Bay. Because we spent our first year doing an entire month of Michael Bay.
Never doing that again.
Torturing ourselves.
If we had done the 3 good ones, 3.5 good ones, we might not have been so upset. But
just imagine how much more we would have appreciated Pain and Gain if that would have been the only one we watched that month, or like the leading up to May that we do now. We would have loved it much more, and I love that movie.
I think I loved it a lot, even in spite of.
Well, that one kicked off that month, so it wasn't so bad. We did the big hit, and then we did Pain and Gain because we were doing the Marky Mark connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then we did.
Believe it, bro. Marky Mark connection. That's this new dating app I got where I'm the only guy on there. It's just a bunch of chicks want to bang Marky Mark. Make a fucking connection.
I bet that's
X Marky Marks. Moxie marks the spot.
Oh, Roseanne, why are you on here? We're in the
Roseanne,
same film company.
Is that Roseanne? I thought we were starting a new company. Super Serious. SS. Bro, me, you, Mel Gibson. Who else? I forgot. There was one more.
Oh, no, it was them. I think it was those 3. Maybe there was someone else.
I thought there was 4. Guess what? I can't count. And you can't count on me showing up for paternity test.
For those who don't know, Marky Mark, Mel Gibson, and Roseanne Barr are starting a anti-woke film studio. That's what that's about.
Yeah, they're going to do like animation, like stop motion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All their movies are going to star Clark Goebbels.
Goebbels. It's Goebbels is how it's spelled, but I think you say it Goebbels.
Clark Goebbels. Anyway, we're talking about The Rock with Michael Bay, who is not, as far as I know, a Nazi. So
it's a good thing to say in this day and age.
Yeah,
it is.
You wouldn't think that was such high praise.
And we decided to do this one because it's a good one. And we had a run of stinkers. And, we got to give Michael Bay some credit. He's made movies that are not bad.
Is that a crack at House Guest?
No.
I will say there is a lot of. I did not know that this came after Bad Boys.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Bad Boys moves on this.
Bad Boys was his first big one, right?
Yeah, that was his directorial debut as a film director. He was a music video guy before that.
Oh yeah,
as you can see watching his movies.
Speaking of music,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yours is probably going to be better.
No, I was just going to say the music video thing. Ed Harris was, again, surprise. We're talking about another movie where Ed Harris is annoyed with his director.
Shocker.
That's why he started directing his own movies.
Did he Costner it?
Yeah, but they're only like 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's a modest Costner.
But he was getting really annoyed because he's like, Michael Bay wants to shoot everything like uptight, and Ed Harris was like, I'm acting with my whole body. And then also the amount of coverage that Michael Bay does, because the average shot length in this movie is 2.5 seconds.
Okay.
Because Michael Bay loves quick cuts. It gives you energy even when nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And so
he also loves a shaky cam.
Yeah. So Ed Harris was getting mad because they do so much coverage. He's like, I got to do this scene wide shot. I got to do the scene while the camera's behind me. I got to do the scene while it's a close up. I got to do the scene while it's on the left side. It's on the right side. Like,
Yeah,
Wow.
I like me an annoyed Ed Harris. He brings out the best in him, dude.
It does.
oh, I should have made my name Ed Harris was right.
Oh.
That should be the name of this movie.
I mean, Ed Harris is right. He's barely the fucking bad guy. Even when you think he's the bad guy, it's darts.
That's what I was like. When you hear why he's doing what he's doing, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I kind of understand.
The real villain of the movie is Tony Todd, not surprisingly, because he is Death from the Final Destination series.
Well, also
He's-
the real
he's
villain is
also
America.
the Candy Man.
He's also
He
the
is.
Candyman.
And
Yeah,
Best in
so-
Picture since you got robbed from the Oscars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Since
he got
the
fucking
Oscars snubbed him.
snubbed.
Yep.
That's a bummer. I was going to say about the music, though, I had to look it up because sometimes it's that classic Michael Bay fart rock porn music, right?
Yeah.
Like akin to Lethal Weapon. And other times it has this like haunting angelic background. One of the people was Hans Zimmer. And then the
Oh,
other
okay.
Saw
guy
that.
did all kinds of stuff that you would imagine fart rock porn music guy would do. Like, it's just crazy to have those two together. So we're gonna have Emeril Lagasse come out and teach you how to make food, along with the cook from Applebee's,
Along with Ronald himself from Ronald McDonald's. From McDonald's. Damn it.
from McDonald's. And out comes Wendy.
Speaking of a weird mix of people, so we have 3 credited writers on this movie.
Oh, always
But
a good sign.
there's at least 3 other people who worked on writing the movie. One of which Michael Bay says that's the movie he made, but the WGA wouldn't give this guy credit for whatever reason. So we have David Weisberg and Douglas Cook, who Douglas Cook passed away in 2015, so rest in pictures. The only thing of theirs I recognized was Double Jeopardy.
Okay.
And then they wrote a bunch
Morgan
of stuff.
Freeman, Ashley
That's-
Judd.
that's
Ashley Judd for
Ashley Judd.
sure.
Ashley Judd, yeah.
And isn't it that dude?
It's the poor man Sam Elliott. I cannot remember
Yes.
the dude's name, but he was Pike in the Star Trek Abrams verse.
'Cause that
Oh,
helps
Chris
me.
Pine?
Nope, the guy that was ahead of him. The guy that
his boss.
his mentor kind of. I think his name was Admiral Pike.
That's why I thought Pine, because you said Pike. Like,
Yeah,
Pine was
but anyway,
Captain Kirk, but
poor
yeah.
man Sam O'Neill.
But yeah,
You said
that's
Sam Elliott earlier.
Did I? I meant Sam O'Neill.
Sam O'Neill, Sam
But I
Elliott.
knew who you were talking about. so
They're both
that's weird.
cowboys. They're both cowboys, just from different countries.
Just different cows, different countries.
But yeah, they wrote Double Jeopardy and then a couple other movies that have like a 4 rating on IMDb, so I didn't even click them.
Now they're over there
Except
writing
for
Final Jeopardy questions.
the first movie that they wrote, which I kind of want to watch. It was a TV movie from 1991 called Payoff, and it stars Keith Carradine, Kim Greist, Harry Dean Stanton, and John Saxon.
Kim Greist. Is
We just
that-
talked about her on.
Gary Busey in a wig.
Yes.
Yes.
House
All
guest.
right.
And not James Dean Stanton, right?
No, not James Dean Stanton, Harry Dean Stanton. And then John Saxon, who's been in a bunch of stuff, but I mean, a thing a lot of people know him from is he's the kind of the villainous dude in Enter the Dragon. He's the white karate guy. But I have the plot summary here. So a kid unknowingly carries a bomb to his parents. When they get killed, he's traumatized. Many hellish years later, he vows revenge against the criminals who gave him the bomb.
Okay. I mean, I like that. It sounds like an 80s Hong Kong kind of style movie.
It is
It
a
sounds
terribly
like we
written
gotta watch it.
summary, which means it's probably a terribly written movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in.
It's probably behind you right now to grab it on Blu-ray.
No, I haven't. I'd never heard of it until last night.
Well,
It's
stay
on
tuned
order.
for next week.
And then the other guy credited with writing this is Mark Rosner, who wrote some TV movie called Empire City ? And then a bunch of TV, like one episode of multiple TV shows,
Right.
and that's it.
Probably did some work on 90210.
I don't, maybe,
Melrose Place.
but
Yeah, Melrose.
apparently-
at least. Who didn't write for
apparently,
Melrose? Dear Abby was writing for Melrose.
you know who didn't write for Melrose Place? Quentin Tarantino, who did uncredited rewrites on this script.
Oh,
As along with Aaron Sorkin, who came to punch up dialogue, and then the guy who Michael Bay says wrote the movie that he actually made, is this guy Jonathan Hensley, who wrote Die Hard with a Vengeance, and he wrote Armageddon and some other stuff. But
I like both of those.
But for whatever reason, they wouldn't give him credit.
Armageddon.
Actually, it was funny. Michael Bay, in one of the previews, the movie didn't do well, so they added in the car chase, the San Francisco car chase, to give it more action.
It felt very cut in.
Yeah.
Like that scene.
But he was like, young boys want to see car chases. Like teenage boys want to see car chases.
That's
So do
not a
grown
lie.
men.
Yeah.
So do grown ass men. And I mean, definitely your wife. I can't speak for women, but I can say I know your wife loves them.
I do love them.
Well, apparently Michael
Especially
Bay,
with a dummy.
he said he wanted to put in the car chase, and one of the writers who he wouldn't mention was like, I can't believe you're talking about demographics. We're trying to make this film, whatever. And Michael Bay was like, in an interview, basically paraphrasing, he said, I'm not going to take advice from a guy who's never gotten a script made into a film. So I'm going to assume he's talking about Mark Rosner, because that guy only wrote TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so we got a little bit of Quentin Tarantino, a little bit of Aaron Sorkin in here.
Okay. I wonder what the Aaron Sorkin did. He's usually known for kind of satire.
Yeah, I think what I read
did
was
the
that he just
hotel
punched
scenes.
up. I think what I read is he
did
punched up
Cage's
dialogue.
parts.
No, Cage did his own parts.
A lot of all of the comedy pretty much was ad-libbed from what I read.
Oh, yeah? You're saying that nobody wrote down Zeus's butthole?
Actually, Michael Bay wanted to cut that, and Nic Cage insisted that it was included.
Good job, Nick. Well done.
Very well done.
This is early Michael Bay still. He made Bad Boys. I think that was it up till this point. So he still had to listen. And I don't know if you guys noticed, this is obviously a Jerry Bruckheimer film because it's Michael Bay. Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson, who we talked about on Bad Boys, because he's the crazy producer that's known for doing a ton of cocaine.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the movie, it's dedicated to him. So this was supposed to be Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer's final collaboration, because they were going to split up because Jerry Bruckheimer was tired of his cocaine-fueled anger.
Yeah.
Well, he never shared.
But Don Simpson died while they were making the movie of a drug-related heart failure.
Makes
Once
sense.
again, because he never shared. If you do cocaine with your friend, you do half as much cocaine.
It's just kind of funny that it was like, okay, well, we're not going to work together anymore. We're doing this movie and that's it. And then he dies and they're like, well, dedicated to him.
That's an odd thing, but hey.
All right. So now we play the box office game and then we
Okay.
get into
I
it.
purposely avoided this.
Should we guess the budget also, Jack?
No, I think we should get a budget.
Okay.
All right. $75 million.
Ooh, I would have said 80, so I would have been over anyway. It was 75 million to make.
I'm gonna say.
What's the year?
1996.
Go ahead, Whitney.
133.5
Domestic or altogether?
altogether.
220 altogether.
You guys are mean. 335 million worldwide.
See, I didn't want to go that high because that's
You were very close to domestic.
Oh.
Almost exactly. 134 million domestic.
Dang.
Okay, so I changed mine to domestic.
Fix that in post.
Isn't that like Avengers money?
I mean, that's how
No.
much. I think that's how much Avengers cost to make. But
Yeah, Avengers budget's 250 to get out the
Avengers
door.
went over $1 billion.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
But I don't think I realized the rest of the world loves this movie.
Yeah.
More than
parents
us,
love
apparently.
this movie.
Yeah. It's all fucking hot fuzz. It's all Nick Frost.
200 million more dollars out there.
Oh, yeah.
More than double what the U.S. did. U.S.
Yeah.
and Canada.
It's that China market, man.
Oh, I have a
We
fun.
have to
I have
blow
a.
up America.
I have a fun.
Sound like our
fact.
grandfathers just blaming China for everything. I'll tell you why they made that rock movie. It was the Chinese. That's who made that rock. You know why there's so many Bad Boys movies? The Chinese. No time travel in those movies for a reason. You know, you can't. They don't
it's
have
probably
movies.
true.
They don't have movies of time travel in China. It's against the law.
Really?
Yep, because they don't want anything that would be able to go back and disgrace their proud history. Something along those lines. And now you
But-
know.
Speaking of governments being proud of themselves, This movie is tied to a proud moment for the United States.
Okay.
So in 2016, there was a report called the Chilcot Report. It was about Britain's involvement with toppling Saddam Hussein and all the stuff going on in Iraq. One of the agents who testified said that he had falsified claims about observing weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. He based his description on them on the VX nerve gas missiles in this movie.
Oh.
So we were in Iraq looking for VX nerve gas missiles from the Rock.
Oh, man. Proud to be an American.
And they did shoot most of this movie on Alcatraz because, like, the studio, of course, wanted it to be in LA or on sets or whatever, cheaper. Michael Bay, the quote is, "I got to shoot on the island because this island is so fucking bitchin'."
I can hear him say that.
I just like that. I really wish Michael Bay would have just been like a lawyer instead. Your Honor, my client is bitching. You don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like he was his girl was harsh in his vibe. He's trying to stay bitching. And I told her, if you want to be bitching, stay out the kitchen. And because that rhymes, you got to let him go. Thank God he became a fucking filmmaker, director, filmmaker guy.
So also my name here, Derek Coppola, isn't just because Mr. Nic Coppola is in this movie, also known as Nic Cage. The cinematographer is a guy named John Schwartzman. If that last name sounds familiar,
is that Jason Schwartzman?
He's related to Jason Schwartzman. I think Talia Shire is his aunt or something. I don't remember exactly.
His mom is
part of the whole Coppola family.
Schwartzman's mom is Adrian in Rocky.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, that's Jason Schwartzman's
Never saw
mom.
Rocky. I've told you this numerous times.
I black it out every time, but guess who's not drinking?
I'm not.
By the way, it's
just the guy in charge of the tech.
The people that always talk about, like, man, I quit drinking for a couple of days and I felt great. Not true. It's just dumb. All my aches and pains are real noticeable. Sitting
How long
here
has it been,
though? What year is this? 4 days.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You're on your fourth day?
Yeah.
I had to look it up here real quick because wife didn't know who Talia Shire was. So Talia Shire is Francis Ford Coppola's sister, and she's Jason Schwartzman's mom. And then so John Schwartzman, I think it said, was her nephew. So it's all just a bunch of nepotism.
Yeah, wow. You just change your name so you're not right on the coattails. I mean, so you don't get caught riding on the coattails.
Yeah, so that's why my name is now Derek Coppola, because I need some monies.
Ooh, yeah, if they pick up this podcast.
Now it's funny to me.
I can be in Megalopolis too.
Electric Boogaloo.
That would make sense for that too.
Mega Boogaloo.
You never went and saw Megalopolis, did you? Because you didn't believe how I said it. You're like, that's not right.
It's a stupid name.
The 4K disc. The movie is not coming out on physical media in America.
What?
Because I don't know, but it did come out in other countries, so I've got a disc on the way.
Do we have a way to watch that?
You are like,
well, yeah, it's 4K.
A fucking pirate of the 4K.
I love that movie, and Francis Ford Coppola got a raw deal.
I thought it was great. And seeing, speaking of Michael Bay and Transformers, it's got Shia LaBeouf in it.
Ooh, Shia LaBeouf.
Putting his all, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been one way or the other on Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
I could take or leave him most of the time, but
I mean, when
he does good, he does really good.
Yeah.
I fell in love with him with Even Stevens, like way
and then
back
you fell out of love
kid.
with Crystal Skull Kingdom, Jones, Indiana. Yeah.
What was his name in that? Something stupid.
It was his
probably Chance or something.
Yeah, it was something stupid.
Fido.
Speaking
was he
of
Indy's son or something?
Yeah. That's why he can swing on the ropes like a monkey.
I got one more thing before we get going.
I was going to do a monkey thing and stopped right at it.
Alternate actors.
Oh.
Well, thank God.
I just have some specific ones.
Instead of
There's going to be two. Okay, there's a whole thing. In this movie, someone else was considered for Nicolas Cage's role, and he regrets not taking it.
Bruce Willis.
And it's not his character. His characters and his body type and everything about him are nothing like Nicolas Cage.
Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It sure is. It's Arnold.
Arnold was like, we gotta get the VX gas out of here. Do you know what this shit works? How this shit works right here? You get this on your skin, your body melts, your heart gives out, you poop yourself to death. You hear that? Poop. You'll break your spine shitting. I tell you, you get whiplash when you fart.
I read that it was Sean Connery's role, and then I read more than once that it was actually Nic Cage's role. So who knows? But that would have been
Welcome to the Rock. The Rock is what I call my penis.
I think Perdot should have been at least somebody in this movie. One of the mercenaries.
Who?
Pudo?
The guy you were talking about earlier.
Duport?
The guy that was in Violent Night as the head mercenary guy.
Yeah.
Dupois or
Dupois,
some kind of dumb name.
Not Johnny Legs?
No,
No, the head, not the robbers, but the people who worked for.
Mike Dupont.
Oh yeah.
Dupont.
Canadian cat, right? Or at least I've seen him in a lot of Canadian products.
She thought he would be good for. She was talking about it during the movie, and she thought he would be good for the General Kramer.
Yeah.
But I like the General because that's played by, I don't have his name right here, but it's the guy from he's the doctor in Hot Fuzz, the one that gets shot in the foot.
Oh, hold on, because I have. Is it Stuart Wilson?
That sounds right. Yeah,
Stuart.
I have it.
Dude,
in
by
here.
the way, I have 12 welcome backs, and I didn't even go through everybody's IMDb. Those are just the ones I recognized.
Well, there's a bunch of welcome backs, and then also as I was scrolling through like trivia and different things, it was like this movie reunites these guys who were in that movie, and these guys who were in that movie, and these guys who were in that movie.
I mean, Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage were in Matt together.
Matt. I don't know.
I just thought of it. Was it Sean?
I'm the Highlander. I cannot be killed. How in Zeus's butthole am I supposed to die?
Who was in? John C. McGinley was in Platoon with one of the guys here. I can't remember now. I didn't write all that down. There was a lot of them.
Right, but there's.
Connery.
But it's because you've stacked this with really good character actors. I mean, you got your big stars whose names you know. Yes, ma'am.
It was not Sean Connery. It's Ed Harris and Nicolas Cage that were brought in together again.
And also Ed Harris and Michael Biehn.
Yes.
From previous episode, The Abyss.
And then we just watched National Treasure 2.
This is the prequel National Treasure. I'm sure of it.
Yes.
That's exactly what Whitney said at the end of the movie.
Did you?
Yes. I was like, well, and that's how National Treasure started.
Maybe because I know that you guys watched it for the first time ever.
No.
National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure.
Okay.
Or Derek the first time. Sorry, but because you guys just watched it, I had it in my head when we finished. I'm like, this is how he starts that addiction. He's gonna adopt. He's gonna adopt John Voight as a dad, and be like, teach me some stuff.
Well, we didn't meet his dad in this movie. You don't know. He ran out from that church at the very end, and he's like, man, robbing churches is awesome. I'm going to do that more.
Babe, do you know there's things hidden in stuff all over America?
There's this thing called the Masonry. I thought my grandpa was dumb, but you know.
But yeah, I mean, we got a ton of people coming back. I mean, like we said, Ed Harris, as you see here, and John C. McGinley, he's on Shakedown. And then, of course, Nicolas Cage. We just recently had on Firebird. Have we had Sean Connery on yet?
I do not believe so.
No, we have not. That's a great picture, though. And then, of course, Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn.
I mean, he kind of looks like
was
that
Abyss
in The
as
Abyss
well.
also.
Well, you
didn't get a picture of old William Forsythe?
Will Forsythe is back, though.
Billy Forth.
But Michael Biehn, this is the second movie we have talked about, and it's not the last one that we will talk about, where he plays a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Because he was a SEAL in The Abyss. He was a SEAL in this. And then the next one is
SEAL?
Navy SEAls.
I really wish you would have rhymed it.
Navy SEAls.
He was a SEAL in The Abyss. He was SEAL in this. He's a SEAL in Navy SEAls, which you have on disc.
And there you go, punching shit up.
You can auto-tune that and just loop it. Make you a fucking song right there.
I mean, he just plays a fucking soldier because he played a marine,
Terminator?
space marine in Aliens, and he's what are they, tech com soldier or whatever in Terminator. when he gets sent back.
future Marine essentially.
But going back to the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, real quick, part of the trivia I read,
I'm not gonna ever forget that. He is gonna make an appearance in this movie.
part of the trivia I read said that not only was Arnold Schwarzenegger considered for Cage's role in this movie, he was also considered for Cage's role in Face Off. When guess who was supposed to be playing John Travolta's role?
Sly Stone or Danny DeVito?
Sylvester Stallone.
Those two faces.
Those two switching, like
I wanna take his face off. You know what I'm saying? Like his face like off.
Ooh, what a predicament!
I
I'm gonna fuck his wife, but I gotta pretend I'm him. I am Austrian. Trying to do Sly Stallone doing Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's a tough accent to nail.
I'll be back. I couldn't get his wife. I couldn't get his wife to poop on a table though.
Hey, come here and bring your face to my hand. I'm gonna drape it over your face like a waterfall.
You guys, I wanted you to know that I read that, and I don't know if you can see it, but in my notes, there's a highlighted section because of that. I was like, I cannot forget to read this.
Dude, it's just to think. I think having him in this movie is more ridiculous. Him being a fucking chemical nerd, as it's so levelly put.
No.
There's no way you buy that. Jessica Alba's his assistant, handing him beakers.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, names are escaping me today.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards is working with him in the
Yeah.
biochem lab.
Yeah. What a team.
You said Tammy and the T-Rex, not Christmas Jones from James Bond. That also ties closer to this movie.
But she had started with "My
I know,
names are
honey.
escaping me."
I know. I'm
So
just making a joke to transition into the fact that there's a conspiracy theory, a fan theory, that Sean Connery is actually playing his former James Bond character. Because this originated when the James Bond when people started talking about how James Bond was like a code name and not the actual name of the character. That's why he's always changing faces and getting younger as he goes on.
Yeah.
In one movie, he's Australian.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole thing of like, because the one movie I don't remember what it's called. There was a James Bond movie that he did that's not considered an official James Bond movie because it was after he had been ousted as James Bond and somebody was producing it because they had the rights to the movie. And so they're like, well, that's not canon. So because that one's not canon, this timeline works perfectly.
Can I tell you though that I love that theory? I couldn't give two hoots about 007 movies. I don't know what it is. I'm bored to sin with them.
GoldenEye is cool. That's what I got.
I'll accept that answer. And I'm not even saying I'm not going to ever badmouth him. But it's like, I love him. Great. I'm glad you do. I don't want to watch him. Put a fucking laser sword in that movie.
You watched GoldenEye, at least.
I watched GoldenEye apparently.
She watched GoldenEye.
Because I rented it and watched it because someone was talking about it and I was like, I want to watch Pierce Brosnan run down a dam.
I want to watch Sean Bean die.
Well, that's a lot
Where
easier.
can I see Sean Bean die?
I've never seen him die before.
Speaking of that, when we were talking about National Treasure earlier, as you said, it was my first time. Whitney and I were watching it, and I saw Sean Bean. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna die or betray everybody or both."
I was like,
guess what he's not gonna do?
At least one of those.
He's not gonna make it to be the good guy at the end. That's what's not happening.
Hey guys, I don't want to sound needy here.
I'm needy,
but we have a Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople.
Mm-hmm.
And it only costs $3 a month.
$3 a month is nothing.
And I know times are hard right now.
Real hard for me.
Inflation's up. You can't afford your groceries.
Can't eat.
But you can afford $3 a month if you love us.
Give us $3.
Super love us.
Please love us.
We're not begging.
I'm begging.
We're not pleading.
I'm pleading.
We're not down on our knees.
Oh boy,
I mean,
my knees hurt. They've been on so long.
But we do kind of need the money.
I need the money bad.
We need new equipment.
New equipment. We need to do remote podcasts for all of you.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need to have video.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need more drinks.
Food sounds good.
So please check out patreon.com/worstpeople.
Please check us out.
You get a bonus episode every month, and we're going to have more content coming for you.
I'll send you pictures.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Please give me more.
Patreon.com
I'm being held hostage here.
/worst
If I
people.
don't pay my way out of here, they're going to kill me.
But there's a bunch of people in this movie that are like big actors, or at least people known actors,
Yeah, I think Tony
Who
Todd's
are-
over 6
are
foot. John C. McGinley's 6 foot.
who are uncredited though.
Okay.
There's a ton. I didn't write them all
Tuco
down,
was up in there.
but I've got a few here. So Stuart,
Yeah,
Wilson, we were
Tuco's a
talking
welcome
about.
back as well.
Yeah, because he was on Under Siege.
Yeah, he had one of the best lines, but that
was
wasn't
he
delivered.
credited?
Tuco was not credited in this
He'll
movie.
be fine.
So I'll credit him right now. Raymond Cruz playing Sergeant Rojas. Xander Berkeley, who plays Lawner, who's like one of the science geeks that works with Nic Cage at the beginning.
Yeah.
The one with the glasses that you
Yeah.
kept saying you recognized. You thought he was someone else.
No, I know who he is.
It was Xander Berkeley, who was in Terminator. I mean, he's in a bunch of stuff, but he was Todd in Terminator.
There's one that I caught, Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel
Which
is one of the F-18
I-
pilots. He is credited though.
I just finished up right before I watched this. I just finished up the Dollop
Passion of
episode
the
about Jim Caviezel, and so when I saw him, I was like, "By the way, bonkers episode. We need to do a TV show called Person of Interest, and I'll tell you why later. Remind me after this."
I actually watched part of that.
I'm sorry to hear that. May the Lord be with you.
It's got Fred from
I saw like
Buffy.
promos for it,
Okay,
but I
Okay.
never saw it.
but yeah,
Oh, the girl. Yeah,
but like, why are these people uncredited? I know you said
I don't know.
Caviezel is credited.
yeah, which is weird. Jim Caviezel's credited as F-18 pilot, but Philip Baker Hall, who played, is just credited as Chief Justice, but he's one of the older guys in the war room.
Yeah.
There, not credited. Xander Berkeley not credited. Stuart Wilson not credited. Raymond Cruz not credited. The guy that plays the president, Stanley Anderson, not credited, and he also plays the president in Armageddon, so shared universe.
Oh, ooh. I think it was the guy that you said first that was at the war table. I'm pretty sure he's in Cop Rock as the lawyer that the dirty cop tries to hire.
Because he's so dirty.
No, that's
just-
not him.
Okay, well, he might be in this movie because I've
Um,
seen him.
Yeah, but there was so many people listed in the IMDb credits as uncredited, and most of those had pictures. But then a bunch of the people who were credited didn't even have pictures.
Do you
Yeah,
think they like just said, "Hey, don't worry about paying us. We'll just do you a flavor"?
No.
it's Hollywood. I doubt that happened.
So if they're not credited, they didn't get paid.
I mean, you still get paid.
Maybe they didn't want.
I don't know. I'm not a
tax on it.
Hollywood.
I don't know. It's just weird. But let's get into this movie because it's long and we've been talking a while already.
Just
You
like
can make
my
it real
rock.
short.
It's only 2 hours and 16 minutes though, so it's not long for.
I had to
Bay.
pause halfway through. Well, but ended up being halfway through because I felt like I was like, man, I watched a pretty good chunk. I wonder how much is left. And I paused. Hour gone by. Didn't feel bad.
I like how this movie starts with like this montage of this funeral and Ed Harris getting dressed up in his, like,
Voiceover.
formal stuff. But like when he gets to this gravestone, which is his wife's, it just says his wife. Like just in case the people watching didn't know. Like it doesn't say like loving mother or loving wife. It says his wife. So you're watching the
remembered my
movie and you're like,
friend.
oh, it's Ed Harris's wife. The gravestone told me.
But anybody else going there is like, whose wife? There's nobody buried next to her.
There's an empty
Whose
plot
wife
next
is
to her.
this? Yeah.
Not for long.
Just an arrow
Oh.
that's like I'm with stupid.
I'm buried with stupid.
Oh man, if I was gonna be buried, that's what I would want.
Fuck you.
It would be funny.
guy.
Well, you'd be dead. You wouldn't care.
Who's dying first?
Well, no. Once you're dead and you're in the like, once the arrow's pointing at you, what do you care? You're dead. Fine, I'm with stupid, and it just points to the random person on the other side.
I like that better.
Well, there goes getting a 3-person plot. That
We're all
idea is
gonna
out
share
now.
the same casket. I thought.
Oh, I thought we would just be
Casket
buried
is
like
in one.
Yeah.
I thought we'd be buried like one down here and then one across here and then one across like Jenga.
Like
You,
hands.
you're actually being super ridiculous right now. We're going to be stadium movie theater style seating in a burial. Like we're going to be buried sitting down in the rising order.
They wanted us to
I get
bury.
to be in the middle, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's usually how we sit at the theater.
True.
They wanted this really large grave plot and they wanted us to put a movie theater screen in there, and one of them was very, very adamant that it was an IMAX screen. So this was a very large grave.
Yeah. It's going to cost a fortune we don't have.
They're dead. They won't know.
But he's talking to Ed Harris is talking to his dead wife, and he's like, "Got something I got to do, Barb.
Forgive me.
Hope you don't hate me." She will.
Forgive me for what I'm about to do. Don't think less of me.
And then we go to a naval weapons depot where there's a robbery happening.
Yeah.
And it's under the guise of a training exercise. Hummel, who is Ed
General
Harris
Hummel
there.
he's a fucking general. At least I didn't count his stars, but they let him right on, dude. People are fucking just happy to
It's
have
an
him.
honor to have you on here.
Well,
Yeah.
and nobody took the low hanging fruit of the joke when they're listing off his accolades later. I don't remember exactly what they were, but it was like 3 silver stars, 2 purple hearts, and a Medal of Honor. And I was like, no
I
one
was
said in a pear
waiting.
tree.
I was waiting for a partridge in a pear tree joke, and I'm glad I didn't get it.
But we have these other guys coming in, these rogue Marines, led by Tom Baxter, who's played by David Morse, who most people would know from Green Mile, probably.
I'm surprised he hasn't been on the show
Yeah.
with his
I
roles,
mean-
and he's a stay tuned.
I mean, it's funny because he's also in 12 Monkeys, and I can't remember his character's name, but he's the one who's responsible for releasing the virus in 12 Monkeys.
Yeah,
And then in this,
Oh.
he's trying to
release a virus.
He's got a type.
But they go through their supposedly non-lethal stuff against these
They're using
other guys.
darts, apparently.
But like that one
30
dude in the
minutes.
tower, who gets blasted with the like giant fucking tennis ball, he flies out of the tower and falls like 3 stories.
Yeah.
And lands
Oh
on
no,
his
he's
face.
paralyzed
And-
for life, but he's alive.
Yeah, later on they're like, there's no casualties, but there were injuries.
I mean,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure paralyzed is a casualty, dude. Count me as a casualty.
he's
Yeah.
breathing. Nope, look at him. He's blinking and breathing. That counts. That counts for something.
He's breathing. That's a machine. Yeah, but he's breathing.
I want one of these fucking darts just for a little 30-minute nap every now and then. Got 30 minutes in between shifts. Ooh.
And they're stealing this VX nerve gas, which was I read. Oh, what was the brand? It was a type of shampoo, like an
Pantene
anti-dandruff
Pro V?
shampoo.
Was it Garnier Fructis?
No, it was one of the cheap ones. I keep wanting to say Purell, but
Plus?
that's not right.
Selsun Blue.
Maybe it was Pert. It was one of the cheap brands, like one of the ones where you go to the store and you're like, well, I'm pretty broke, so I guess I'll get this shampoo.
Hurt might be
Gotta
right.
be Pert.
But I can't remember what it
Pert's
was, but it was like that's all they were using was a shampoo. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that doesn't bode well for that shampoo. I'm just
The
gonna say I need to go look
VO5?
up that I need to go look up that brand so I don't buy it.
Oh, come on. It's got horse placenta.
But like the first and last death of this movie start here because this one of these Marines dies because one of these little bouncy balls of death falls out, and this dude, skin bubbling, face melting, like Indiana
Worst.
Jones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
He's
Yeah.
pooping himself to death. Look at that.
Actually, it's very similar to, and I'm assuming he took inspiration from this this other movie. You've seen Planet Terror?
No.
Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse movie when him and Quentin Tarantino did the 2
Machine gun leg.
double feature. Yeah, with the machine gun.
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the gas in that the soldiers have to have to like breathe because they were tested on or whatever.
Mhm.
This is exactly what happens to them. Like you get these boils and like the skin starts to melt and all this stuff.
Also,
And I'm sure it was Robert Rodriguez looked at The Rock and saw that.
it's also what happened in Wizard of Oz.
And so then we cut to the FBI lab where Nic Cage works. Stanley Goodspeed.
Good speed.
And I just they
He does a
basically
Rube
there's
Goldberg thing. What's it called?
oh yeah, that little thing he has, that
Rube
Rube
Goldberg.
Goldberg. Or this is more Mousetrap than than Rube Goldberg, because it's literally like dominoes and then lights something on fire.
Mhm.
I liked it.
You guys have way too much time on your hands.
The gist of this is basically like you get to see he's a lab nerd, but they get this package that's like was supposed to be sent to Bosnia for aid, but it's got
Sarin
like a
gas.
sarin gas baby bomb in it. And this fucking idiot that he works with is like, "Oh, my little baby, look at me."
Ooh,
And
this is a kind of welcome back. I mean, he's been on the show, but it was in That Thing You Do, only the extended version.
Oh.
He's been in a lot of things that I watched, and one recently he was actually the bad guy.
Interesting take. But yeah, he's the idiot. Like, just don't play with packages that might have stuff in them. Because we find out that there is enough C4 to kill everybody in the building. What if this fucking little baby doll thing was how you triggered it? Idiot.
Well, and like
Now you got ghosts.
we detected sarin gas in this package. They open the package. It's a bunch of porn and a baby doll. Which one has the sarin gas? I'm going to take a wild guess.
It's the porn, right?
I'm going to need to comb through it piece by piece. I'm going to need to be locked in a room. I don't want my fingers to get dry, so if you can send me some lotion or some lube so when I'm going through the porn, I don't. Also, I'm going to make noises. You're going to hear noises. It's just how I process information. I'm going to take a nap in between, too. Like, I'm going to go through this stuff and then take a little quick nap and then wake me up with smelling salts. I'll be back at it.
Yeah.
I'm like it's like
You got
you
any
know
blue
those
pills?
birthday cards? You know those birthday cards that you open and then they play a song?
Uh-huh.
It's like that, but on the centerfold. So he gets to the centerfold and opens it, and that's when the gas comes out.
Ooh. Shit. Most guys wouldn't even make it to the centerfold.
I go straight to the center.
Our plan didn't work. They all came early.
I just read the descriptions. That's all.
Just
I'm
like
in
the
it for
articles.
the stories.
Who isn't?
This is what we see Xander Berkeley, who, like I said, is in a bunch of shit. A lot of stuff with numbers. Air
Not a
Force
good sign.
One,
Oh.
Air Force One, Terminator 2, Shanghai Noon, Apollo 13.
I was like, how
There's
is
also-
Shanghai Noon a number? I got you.
Noon.
12.
I
He's
got
also,
you.
he's
I
also
got
in
there.
The Mandalorian. He's also in The Mandalorian.
That doesn't have a number.
No, it doesn't.
Well, which episode?
I don't know. But he showed up in there. Because he plays...
Was it episode number 2? Episode number 3?
He plays the guy... He's one of the military separationist guys that, like...
Like the Shadow Realm or the Shadow Council?
Yeah, he's the one... On Hunt Took Shots First, we got a comment from our listener, Drew, about how he thought that this guy was going to be the overseer or whatever on...
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name. It's a P name. It's like...
But that's Xander Berkeley's character.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just to set up that Nic Cage is good under pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
loves
he's
being under
kind of a
pressure.
goofball, but when the brass tacks are thrown down, like he gets the shit done because he diffuses this bomb. Everybody's safe.
Where's my water?
They're also setting up.
rubber ball at the wall. This guy's gonna come out with his hat on.
They're also setting up the giant heart needle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he does not like needles.
Apparently, it stops every poison. I don't really know because like they need to use it in this one for the sarin gas so they don't die. But at the end of the movie, Nic Cage uses it. So it's a super anti-poison.
Yeah.
It also wakes up Uma Thurman after just railing heroin. So I mean, like this is a piece of science you're seeing here, friendo.
The guy's trying to figure out how to put the fucking needle in his heart. Nick Cage is like, get his black medical book.
Prank caller.
And then we cut to a scene that Michael Bay also didn't want to include in the movie, but Nic
Was
Cage
it a naked
insistent.
Nicolas Cage?
Yes. Nicolas Cage playing the guitar naked.
Is he
because
playing?
apparently no, he's making noise.
He's strumming in no note whatever.
No.
But
Listening
apparently
to a $600 value Beatles LP.
yeah,
Move on
apparently
from
that's
that
a
because
real
we're all
thing.
going to rant about how much money that is to people that don't like the Beatles. Move on.
But apparently that's the thing. Like Nick Cage was getting into vinyl at the time because he was tired of digital shit.
Yeah.
I'm
he's
getting
like-
into vinyl recently. Like, watch, look, I'm getting into vinyl right now. Just putting on a vinyl
Trying to
jumpsuit.
slide into this.
I'm really getting into vinyl.
Can you help me with the zipper?
Oh, too
It's
tight.
got a chain. I wouldn't know.
But like apparently Nic Cage got like rocked. No pun intended. Yeah, pun
Oh
intended.
yeah, pun
For this movie.
He did.
Madman.
He got rocked for this movie, and he was kind of upset that there were no shirtless scenes. And so he told Michael Bay, like, I'll just do it here. And Michael Bay's like, the quote was something along the lines of like, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
Like, he's like,
But
I want to be naked.
It's surprisingly not that kind of movie. I mean, your big star, Nicolas Cage, I mean, sure, you've gotten fit, but you're not known for that. Ed Harris, again, fit, not known for being rocked.
Well,
Sean Connery, no. Like, this is not that kind of movie. This is not a Marky Mark. This is not a Rock. It's The Rock. It's not a Rock.
I think it's because not Sean Connery, Nic Cage. Basically, I don't remember the exact quote I read online, but people were telling him, like, I read an interview with him, and he's like, people were telling me I was too goofy or too weird to do like to be like an action star.
Well, he proved them
So-
wrong with Ghost Rider
Yeah, he did.
Well, he did
1 and 2.
He took this movie to prove them wrong, and so I think that's why he's like, "Look, it's a fucking action movie. I'm an action star. Look at my nipples."
That's just that's how you know you've made it. I'm an action star. I
Apparently,
think that
every
he-
girl at Mardi Gras is also an action star.
I'm an
bunch of
action
Bruce
star.
Willis's down there. But that's what works about this movie is his goofiness, or why he works in this movie. If he was just a fucking meathead, I mean, I guess I'll just keep going back to the well of Marky Mark. Like, that wouldn't work. It would just be a pissing contest between Marky Mark and Sean Connery. And I prefer Nicolas Cage to kind of get dominated at every turn by Shawnee Khan.
I mean, if you think about it, and like you've seen these pictures, but like you got Ed Harris, John McGinley, Michael Biehn, Sean Connery. These guys.
Hello there.
It's just-
Okay, Sean Connery.
Oh,
Yeah, much better.
Like these guys are like like manly men, men. You know
and
what I mean?
tights.
And men in tights. And Nic Cage is not, and I think that's like you said, that's what makes the whole thing work. Is because like he's like
fish out of water.
he's a character from a comedy that fell into an action movie,
Yeah.
and he does get his action moments, and he gets to be an action star, and he does good when he's playing the serious action shit.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's handling the fucking VX gas and stuff, that's when Sean Connery's the fucking nerd. Right, because he's like, wait,
just
what?
back up,
This is
back
gonna
up,
melt my
back up."
fucking face, you know?
What does
Like-
this do?
But he's this goofball that is good under pressure and saves the fucking not the
Hey, you
world,
know,
but he saves.
He says it a couple times also.
I could play a goofball too, you know. I've been practicing for years being goofy. Ask anyone that knows me. They say that Arnie, he's such a goofball with big muscles. They call me a goofy muscle boy.
I'm goofy only if I have a stogie.
Look, that's funny, isn't it?
It's
Stogie's funny.
it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. I just like the
Sorry,
idea.
you were gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't remember now.
You gotta
Sounds
jump in
about
when you can. Arnold doesn't have time in his life to let women speak. Sorry.
Exactly.
But the kind of subplot here for Nicolas Cage's motivation is that his girlfriend here shows up, and she's pregnant.
right after,
But right, yeah, go for it.
right after he's like, if anybody brought a child into this world, it's just cruelty.
It's an act of cruelty. And this is
And
the
it was-
start of idiocracy.
I forgot. Like I've seen this movie, but I forgot his girlfriend was pregnant. I forgot he had a girlfriend.
I forgot she existed.
Yeah, I forgot all this. So as
the
soon as he
quote,
starts
dude.
going off, I remember Sean Connery's part of the quote. I'd never remembered Nic Cage's part. So he starts going off about how anybody who would bring a child into this world is committing an act of cruelty, and I was just like, oh, his girlfriend's pregnant.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Talk about putting your foot in your mouth. That's the Tarantino part. I'll just write somebody putting their foot in their mouth. That's gonna be great. Oh, foot in their mouth. So what is Selma Hayek's doing?
So yeah, then we go to Alcatraz, and there's a tour And
Welcome back.
Whitney was like, "This is why you didn't want to do a tour of Alcatraz while we were in San Francisco, isn't
On our
it?"
honeymoon.
And I was
Yep.
like, "Yeah, because
100%.
that's how you get taken hostage by Ed Harris." Which doesn't sound so bad, except for he's not even around.
Well, much
I'm just
scarier.
stuck in a cage with a bunch of weirdos.
Much scarier, though. You could go on that same tour and get taken captive by Mike Myers and have him talk to you the entire time.
Yeah,
He's also there, and so I married an axe murderer.
that's worse.
Pro to that, though, you got Phil Hartman giving the tour. Con, Michael Myers is not going to shut up. But yeah, this little tour guide guy was also cast a deadly spell.
Yes, he was.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't recognize him. I mean, I thought I vaguely did, but I watched so many movies. I'm like, I vaguely recognize that person. and I
These are
move
just the
on.
ones that popped into my head that I was like, all right, now I'll go check him. It's boring just to look through and try and find who you know.
But then we have another welcome back who
They just keep on coming.
takes out the security guards here while this tour is going on. It's Bokeem Woodbine. Speaking of
Woo!
Marky Mark.
That sex machine ain't broke.
Machine is not broken. Give it a good once over.
Because he was here on The Big Hit.
Yeah, and
he's
Almost
also-
Heroes.
Oh, yeah, and Almost Heroes. He's in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's, I think he's the Scorpion. Is who ends up
No,
being-
Shocker.
Shocker. That's right. I knew it was an S.
Yeah.
He's got the power glove Spider-Man.
In the
Homecoming.
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Because I was thinking of like the inner universe, the multiverse one, and I was like, wasn't that?
Oh, No Way
Jamie
Home.
Foxx?
Yeah, no, that's Electro.
What is-
Shocker, Electro.
That's
I mean,
Electro, not the Shocker. Very different.
Yeah, Electro uses electricity. Shocker uses shockwaves.
Okay.
Well, Shocker has tech. Electro
Is
electricity.
Is tech.
is
Yeah.
tech.
But I just like Ed Harris walks in with
Big dick energy.
John C. McGinley and Tony Todd, and he's like, "Hey, tour's over, Bob."
Yeah.
Or is it? No, it's John C. McGinley and the guy from Green Mile.
Mm-hmm. David
He
Morse.
walks in with, yeah.
Do you think Ed Harris has that same haircut downstairs?
Yes.
Horseshoe.
Yeah.
Like his pubes just go
Close.
up closer to his pelvis there, but not like around his actual dick.
Exactly.
It's a little gray rainbow.
I'm okay with that.
I love it.
And but shaved close.
I hope we're
Oh,
very
yeah.
correct.
But yeah, we do also have Tony Todd, as we said, Candyman, Final Destination, Rest in Pictures.
Yep.
Who
We'll never
is the
snub
real
you.
villain of the movie? Well, maybe Tony
Besides
Todd,
America.
maybe the other Marine who I didn't
The-
recognize and couldn't get the name of because they never give us his name.
I do
redhead
recognize
from
him.
Renaissance Man that's always sleeping.
Bingo.
I don't know what that is.
He's been in
But,
some other
like-
stuff. Whoa. Well, he's been in some other stuff, but Renaissance Man is definitely one I know him from.
We're coming over and watching after, okay?
I think I own it. Every background character, if you felt like fucking pausing it and going through, you can find a
You're gonna
connection.
find somebody,
But I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking be texting these guys at like 9:00 at night, like just finished.
Well, and some of these guys, like in my notes, I'm just like, so then Tuco does this, and then Dr. Cox says that.
I can respect both of those being the names that you gave them.
And the major, what's his name? The guy who's the major, short, white hair.
David Morse,
He's also
Green Mile.
like years ago. Derek watched House, and there's an episode where an asshole patient. He's being a dick to House, and so House just puts the thermometer in his butt, and he's like, "I'll be right back," and left him there for hours and hours and hours
Nice.
with a mercury thermometer.
She said, she's like, is that the guy who got the thermometer in his butt? And I was like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Real life or in a show? Be more.
in the show, and he doesn't. He has no recollection of it. He's turning into me, guys. Where he's like, "That was so long ago, I don't remember."
Well, that was like 7 years ago. That was a long time ago.
You can black
Like,
that out. You don't black out like Alien.
Yeah, movies I remember. TV shows, one ear right
He
out
was
the
an
other.
alien.
No,
No,
he's just
no.
saying like, that's
I
something
was like,
you remember.
I just watched that for.
And
but
we'll
the
watch it
deal
again
is-
next year for your first time.
Basically, the deal is here, Ed Harris is doing this because a bunch of people have died under his watch doing these black ops illegal missions, and then they're just fucked by the government.
No pension.
They don't get a soldier's funeral. Their family doesn't get money. They're forgotten. Nothing ever happens. And he's tired of seeing people get fucked over.
Dude, this speech, I actually started crying.
Well, Ed Harris gives
Probably a
this
Hans
fucking
Zimmer
speech.
moment. Oh, yeah, dude. Ed
Fucking
Harris has got
Christ.
big brass balls.
Yes, he does. And
That's why he
we all
sank to
know.
the bottom of the ocean.
And he's going to give each of these guys, who are also people who've been in these Black Ops things that have gotten screwed.
Yep.
They each get $1 million because he's trying to get, I don't remember how much money they said, but he's trying to get this money from this CIA or Pentagon Black Ops fund.
It's a CIA slush
get-
fund.
Yeah, they get from selling illegal weapons and stuff. I'm like, some of that Contra money is finally trickling down.
Yeah, trickle down economics, dude. Works in the Pentagon.
But he's telling all this to the FBI director, Womack, who's played by John Spencer.
Whoa,
who
Mac.
I recognized immediately from War Games. Apparently, he's also in Copland. And then we have the War Room, which is Al Kramer. This guy, the character's name is Hayden Sinclair. Another one of the uncredited actors, David Marshall Grant.
Is he the guy that's in Seinfeld as Bookman?
I'm
Might
not
be.
sure. Bob from
the
Bookman's.
wrong person to ask.
No, I wasn't in Seinfeld. I was too busy making death magic.
What the hell is death magic, Bob?
It's where a ghost jizzed on me.
What? What happened? How did this come about?
Go look at our reels if you don't know what I'm talking about.
For
Or
real.
go back and listen to the episode. That'd
Yeah.
be cool too. But
Either way.
Or do both.
and then Philip Baker Hall, who's in like Boogie Nights, Magnolia. He's in a bunch of stuff. Those are the guys I recognize from the War Room.
Mm-hmm.
But he's telling them this speech about how he needs this ransom from the slush fund, and they're asking like, what does this gas do? And one of the guys is like, let me put it this way: a tablespoon of it is enough to wipe out everybody within 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
A tablespoon into the atmosphere is enough to wipe out 8 blocks.
And this guy has about 24 Jello molds inside each rocket.
Which I would say is about 2 ounces.
Yeah, those little fucking nuclear tennis balls are not 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, this is gonna make for a really bad day.
Maybe 3 ounces.
I guess it's a little smaller than a tennis ball because it does go in that guy's
it's like
mouth.
a ping pong ball.
A little
I could put a
bigger.
tennis
I think
ball
it's
in my mouth.
I think it's a little bigger than a ping pong
I
ball,
can
but a
hold
little
a-
smaller
I
than.
can hold a can in my mouth.
Stay tuned for Patreon content.
So Nic Cage gets called in while he's fucking his girlfriend on the roof.
Dude, you just gotta finish. I mean, she's super hot. She's got, of course, she's got pigtails, which are naughty, 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 naughty. I love his performance, dude. It's so good. But just finish and then answer the phone.
He's like, I just need a second. Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
I am the greatest.
What's he? Oh, in Vampire's Kiss, he's not doing numbers. He's doing the alphabet, huh? A, B, C, D.
Probably.
Anyway.
Yeah, but he counts when he has sex, so it works.
They call in Michael Biehn, who's playing Commander Anderson.
Yeah,
He's
that sounds
Anderson. Mr. Anderson.
right.
And basically he's like, yeah, we can do this, but we need any information, which would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Because later we find out it's like, well, they have blueprints, but the place has been remodeled and rebuilt and reconstructed.
Numerous
And
times.
It's amazing how there's nobody in the world that knows how to get into the rock.
We know a person.
there's someone.
There's someone here. Was there anybody that was going to play him?
Not that I saw, other than, like I said, I saw the Arnold one early, and then later on I saw more than one that said Arnold was Nic Cage. So
Okay.
I don't think Arnold would be old enough to play Sean Connery's character. They're like, he's been in prison for 30 years. He's like, nah, I am 44.
I've done nothing but work out since I've been in here.
They put me in prison when I was 14 for stealing government secrets.
Walter Matthau.
Welcome to the rock. You stay on your side of the prison.
Who's the guy he was always...
Landon.
Jack Lemmon.
Jack
Lemmon. Look, Jack, you stay over there. Oh, man. Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon in Face Off.
I'm going to take his face off. His face off.
You're going to take my face off.
No more drugs for that man. I'd
I'll
watch
do
it.
drugs.
I'd watch it too.
Oh, but yeah, so we meet Sean Connery in the picture that I've showed you guys multiple times. That's just great. Playing Mason. And he's been in this prison cell for 30 years.
It's
and,
a good wig, man.
He's supposed to look like haggard because he's got long hair, but like that's some clean ass fucking hair for being
Eyebrows
in prison in a forgotten prison cell for 30 years.
It may have
Eyebrows
actually
look
been
on
his
fleek.
hair.
It does look like real hair. I mean, if it's a
Because
wig, it's a good wig.
I know in
Yeah.
Medicine Man, he's got longer hair.
Yeah.
This is what we would have got. You know that he was in talks to play Gandalf because there's the look.
Yeah.
But it was after he'd done things like
The stuff
Zardoz
that I didn't want to know
and
about.
things. No, well, we're not going to bring that up. That sucks.
We'll
but
talk
yeah,
about Zardoz one day, though.
Zardoz we'll talk about. He's in a red bikini.
I remember hearing about he was supposed to play Morpheus.
No, so I don't think it was Morpheus. I think I've tracked it back to finding out it was the architect.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, I do remember hearing that now. Okay.
So I think that's the case.
But it's one of those things where he's like, yeah, I've always regretted not doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I would too.
Well, because what year was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
2000, early 2000s.
Okay, so he skipped on Matrix to do that. Okay,
Good call.
good call.
But we delayed ourselves just enough that I could add this picture.
There's
God,
Zardoz.
it's like Burt Reynolds right there.
Yeah, that is Zardoz.
That's
That is a
pretty
movie we
fucking
will
have
sexy.
And he's doing a full Kevin Costner in that movie
I'm
where
taking that.
everybody wants his seed.
They're after my seed. I had a dream about this. It's actually called the cock. Welcome to my cock, and everyone's after my seed. Do I get any rewrites on this?
But yes, he
I'm
does
certain
show up
people
here.
want my seed.
He shows up here looking like Scottish Jesus. And I love that, like,
Oh, look at
they're
that.
like-
I'll turn this water into whiskey, and then I'll turn the whiskey into piss. Oh, yeah. I come here, I lay down for 3 days, and then I get back to my feet.
I gotta like animate a little mouth on him.
Just do the Conan where you put my mouth on this.
But he's the only person who's ever escaped from Alcatraz. But nobody knows about it because they wanted
Alive.
it to be, yeah,
Because this
alive.
this movie does have the actual breakout, but they're just like, they never got out alive. Bullshit.
Well, they got out alive. They didn't get to shore alive.
Dude, those guys are living it up. Those guys are alive. Well, they were. Sorry. Yeah, they're dead now from natural causes.
But then we have another welcome back who I don't have the picture loaded up of because it didn't load in time, and it's fine. William Forsythe.
Oh, yeah.
William Forsythe.
Playing
Mhm.
Ernest Paxton, who's the head of the West Coast operations of something. He was previously on the show in Cloak and Dagger, Savage Dawn, Stone Cold. He'll be back, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
He loves doing stupid movies.
He really does.
But he
And I'm
does
okay
them
with
in
that.
such a way that he's acting. You know what I mean? He's never mailed it in. Even in this movie, when he's, a good guy, it's like, what are you, a fucking Girl Scout? He's just still fucking just gruff and tumble, and I love it.
I wish I had a picture because that mustache is something to behold.
I love that Walmack is like, I don't need you to strong arm him. Just get in there, have him sign this, da da da. And the very first thing he does is fucking strong arm him.
Yeah.
He's just a complete dick to him.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like he's like, here, call a lawyer, throws a quarter at him. And then what Sean Connery does with his quarter is fantastic.
Yeah.
What does he
Obviously, Bill Forsythe doesn't know not to flip this guy quarters.
Right? I was nervous
They,
when
they were like, he's a master escape artist, and he's like, cool, I'm gonna give him metal.
right? Not only the quarter is in there, but when Cage hands him the pen to sign the paper, I'm like, you don't hand him a fancy
Here's a pair of
fucking
scissors.
pen. He'll make a gun with that.
Here's a pair of scissors. Why don't you cut your hair and get a job, hippie? This one's on me. Who gave him scissors? Who gave him scissors?
Sign this agreement. Here's a screwdriver.
But yeah,
Hey,
he
I think you're a terrible person. Why don't you kill yourself? Here's a loaded gun.
He gets the quarter, hits the chair on the quarter, so it scratches it all up. And he's just casually standing by the mirror as everybody's inside bitching at each other, and then does that perfect circle that freaks can do.
Hello there.
Bam!
That's what we got.
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? It's me. I'm him.
I do like real quick right before that. It's just Connery has a great line because Nic Cage walks in after.
Oh, excuse me, son. All of my
Billiam
lines are-
Forsythe does the bad cop.
Yeah.
Cage walks in to do the good cop, and he's like, "I'm Stanley Goodspeed," and he's like, "Of course you are."
Yeah, of course you are.
I don't know why that line made me laugh so much, but
It also tickled me. Well, of course
their
you are.
whole
Is this
their whole
becoming a
thing
tickling
is
podcast, guys?
This is a tickling podcast.
the whole thing is they need him because he knows how to get out of Alcatraz, which means he knows how to get into Alcatraz.
Allegedly.
Retrace your steps from 30 years ago. You're probably not senile. You've been locked in a room alone for 30 years. You probably haven't forgotten anything.
How are you not crazy, by the way?
Well, no, he socializes because he talks about dodging gang rapes in the shower.
Yeah. Losing his sex appeal.
So, yeah, I must be losing my sex appeal. What do you think? Do I still look sexy? Am I too sexy for this shirt? No,
Yes.
put it back on. We're doing
it
a
off.
mission right now. Put your
Take it
shirt.
all off.
Oh, I'm going to take it off just a bit. I'm going to undo the top 2 buttons.
If I can't take my shirt off, you can't take your shirt off.
All right, well, we'll take our shirts off and we'll switch.
I'm gonna put my
I've already
shirt
cut the nipples
on
out
you.
of mine.
But like they give him. He says he wants a shower, a shave,
And the feeling nice
and the
suit.
feeling of a nice suit.
What other fun words can we get Sean Connery? I need a shower, a shave, a soda, a shrimp kebab, a chili man.
I'm gonna wear a suit.
I'll wear a suit. Get my shoes. Get my shoes. My wife's shoes in.
I need to meet Elizabeth Shue. But basically, he gets all
sushi.
cleaned up.
Also want sushi.
He gets all cleaned up, and he escapes.
I don't remember this barber's name. Is it something Clark? Anthony Clark, maybe?
I'm not sure.
He had a show called Boston Common that I want to revisit. It wouldn't be
Was
for like for Latchkey Vids or anything, but he was a stand-up comic. He was pretty fucking funny.
Was he an Ugly Betty?
I could not begin to tell you.
This is where he's like, no clippers, only scissors.
Scissors.
They dive into the gay hairdresser very heavy. Sorry,
I don't know if he'd
hairstyles.
come out yet, by the way. This actor.
Really?
Yeah, he's out now, but I don't know at this point if he was or not.
It's 1996, and Michael Bay let him be in a movie, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, he thought that his personality, he's like, oh my God, he mimics a gay guy so in such a funny way. I love this. He acts so gay. He was like, yeah, acting.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I do. I act gay.
We get the big San Francisco car chase, which is a lot of fun. A lot of things blow up.
Don't ding, dent, or wreck my Humvee.
Is this guy like a fucking producer or something? Like he felt like
Probably.
someone that we should know, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was gonna go back and look. And
Well,
then I
he's just a
never did.
crazy German. Do not dent, ding, or do anything to my Humvee.
I think he's the same dude who Ed Harris steals the car from in National Treasure too.
Oh my God.
He might be a
So it's kind of like a
I've heard of
Speed 2 cruise control thing where the same
Yeah.
guy just gets his fucking car taken again.
That's
So
it.
it
I'm
is a
moving out of
shared
this
universe.
I'm moving out of this town. Like, I can't fucking buy a nice fucking car. It just keeps getting stolen.
Don't buy a nice car, dude.
I do like when they hit this trolley though, and it starts shedding people. Like it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
off the tracks and just sliding down the road, and people are just tumbling out both sides. And Sean Connery is trying not to hit them. All the cops don't really seem to care.
right?
Dude,
Sean's
I
just
just
trying to hit shit.
physics be damned. This thing is flying up and onward like you have never seen. This is fucking mayhem.
Well, yeah, because then it hits these cars at the bottom of the hill, and there's like a series of explosions, and this whole trolley is lifted 2 stories in the air.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
I
Did
also
you
want.
say Bayham, by the way?
I
Yeah,
did.
pay him.
That's fantastic.
That's no, that's not
it-
mine. He that's his term for his style of directing. Am I not wrong? Or am I not
when
right?
I've done posts about the movies in the past, I said Bayhem and I put a little registered trademark logo on there.
Damn.
I don't want to get sued.
Do we ever get a John Wick style story about this trolley driver? I know we're safe in this world. He can fucking hide from me. I'm gonna find you. And I'm gonna fucking kill you. I believe him, yo.
I think he loved that trolley. I think that was his baby.
He takes down all of Alcatraz just looking for Sean Connery.
And I love this guy. So Nic Cage steals this dude's Ferrari and is chasing them along. And this guy, when the Ferrari crashes and Nic Cage gets out right before everything explodes, this fucking stone dude's just like, dude, you fucked up your Ferrari.
It's not
my Ferrari. It's not my Ferrari. And neither is this. And takes this dude's fucking little moped.
Bro, you are harshing my vibe.
Sounded like a 150. Dirtbag.
But so he's looking for, Sean Connery is just breaking out to look for Jade Angelou, who is his daughter, played by Claire Forlani. The only thing I could tell you she's from is Mallrats.
Meet Joe Black.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Meet Joe Black was
She's
the one that was
Brandy
in
in Mallrats.
Mm-hmm. That's what
She's
you
got
should
the
know
same-
her from.
She's got the same deadpan, no acting delivery.
She's beautiful eyes, and that's all she needed.
This is going to be a really weird thing to say, and I don't care because not everybody can pull this off. She is a really cute crier. Like,
I've been told that too.
did you watch Shameless, the American one?
Yes.
The girl Fiona, not a pretty crier. She does this thing where her mouth is open except for the middle parts of her lips, so she does like the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Derek's got it going. That is not a pretty cry. This chick cries pretty. Also, her friend's an idiot. Like, just imagine Derek and I are walking, and someone goes, "Hey, Derek," and I turn back and go, "No, it's Jack." That's what her friend does because he walks up behind.
No, it's Stacy.
It's like, it's not Stacy. What about her?
Are you my daughter? No, I'm your daughter's friend.
This is your daughter right next to me. You should have called her name out. Pretty sure I did. What's her name? Susan.
But they track him down by finding her. And like Nic Cage does do a cool thing because he sees that like Sean Connery's just trying to connect with his daughter. So he's like, he comes up to her and like, of course they have to take him into custody, but he's like, hey, your dad's just helping us with something right now.
Yeah.
It's a matter of national security. Like, he's fine. Because he tells her like, yeah, they let me out of prison. And she's like, God damn it, did you break out again? When all these fucking FBI cars show up. All these FBI cars from like the 70s, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like the SUVs are all like modern, but the cars, the actual like cars are all like, it's like the San Francisco branch of the FBI was like, it's fine.
It's because they're not on the take and they don't make a lot of money.
Oh no, close. This is the Men in Black.
But so they're having him go through the blueprints, and I just love that he's looking at him, and he's like, "Yeah, the blueprints were in my head. Give me some time. It'll come back to me.
It'll come back when I'm down there."
It's a life and death mission, you idiot.
The FBI director Womack doesn't want him to go. Obviously, he doesn't want him out of his sight.
He wants to keep him under wraps. What is he detained for 30 years? No court, no justice has been served.
Yeah,
all
no trial.
for some microfish.
Because he had Hoover had all kinds of recordings and dirt on everybody, and he stole it. When they caught him, the British just were like, "We don't know that motherfucker." So yeah,
and he wouldn't give them the microfilm, which means they held him, and they're like, "We're going to hold you until you do,"
and you haven't.
So there you go.
But I do like this because he's saying he wants to go. The guy's saying no. Michael Bihn's like, dude, we're taking this guy with us if it's going to help us get through our mission.
Yep.
And Sean Connery has that line, looks like you're stuck between the rock and a hard case.
Did you hear what I said there? It's supposed to be just a rock and a hard place. But I'm a hard case, you see.
And we're
going
to the rock.
It's a stupid line, and it was probably improvised by Sean Connery, honestly.
Yeah.
Love
but
it.
like it's just dad joke enough to be funny.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But so Nic Cage and Sean Connery are going in with the SEALs. They do this underwater insertion into the base through this pipe or whatever.
Oh, they impregnate this bitch. There's all kinds of semen in this tunnel.
There's a big old plot hole you could drive a truck through here that Michael Bay has even addressed, which is why are these boilers running?
Yeah, I wondered that
Alcatraz has been shut down for 30 years, but Michael Bay...
There's tours.
But this is, you know what it is?
During the day.
John C. McGinley likes a hot fucking shower. So he's like, look, instead of sleeping, I'm going to go down and light the boilers. It'll be fine. No one's going to be trying to come in anyway.
Well, Michael Biehn apparently, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said something like, he's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
He George Lucas does.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, dude. It looks fucking cool.
Make it look cool. Boilers are cool, dude. Fire's dope. At some point, you should have him yell something like, "I've got the high ground."
Which does come up.
Which, I mean,
they're crawling through these things and they just hear like 1, 2, Freddy's come, and they're like, oh, that's why the boilers are working. Did I fall asleep?
You underestimate my power.
Derek did fall asleep, by the way.
Oh, did you? Did you have some nooners?
No nooners. Just no coffee and a long day.
Ugh, just as angry of a day, and him being so angry, his body just crashed.
Oh, you had a fucking angry nap. I love it.
Yeah.
It happens. They come in through these tunnels. They go through the boiler. Or Sean Connery goes through the boiler, lets them in. And
they all think they're fucked.
And there's a confrontation with the Marines.
Oh, wait, hold on real quick. We do get the welcome to the Rock.
Yes,
yeah, we do.
We have to have that.
But like this, literally, that's what my note says. The Marines have the high ground.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Sean Connery being John Hammond from Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. They spared no expense. Clever.
No dinosaurs have ever escaped from here, but I have.
I want to be a cheap experience the whole family can enjoy, except for the women and the children, just the hot bitches. We're going to call it family. Jurassic Park, as in your ass is going to pocket right here on my cock.
Bring your wives. I'll hit them for you.
Or hit on them?
No, he hits women. Well, not anymore. He's dead.
He's not anymore. He said it was okay to hit a woman because it was like your property, paraphrasing, but
I know.
That was the sentiment.
That's what I hate knowing.
Never meet your heroes.
So there's the shootout, if you can call it that. There's a massacre.
There you go. Yeah, shooting gallery closer to
and
shootout.
You can see right here.
There was a firefight.
Ed Harris does not want them to fire. It was actually Tony Todd.
Well, it was an accident the first time because one of the dudes hits a brick and then one of the SEALs. No, it was a white guy.
No,
he knocks a brick down.
It was not Tony Todd.
It was not Tony Todd, and it was one of the no-name guys.
Tony Todd was standing next to Melvin. And those are the two that were like, we should just waste these motherfuckers. And it was a guy standing by himself that had like a little hole in the wall, kind of like a glory hole for your gun. You know, that way you can shoot and you don't know who's shooting you. It's a big ass glory hole. But he hit a brick and it fell. And then big badabooms all around.
Because he knocks the brick down and then one of the SEALs starts shooting. So then the Marines start shooting. Mm-hmm. Ed Harris keeps telling him to cease fire, but they don't stop until everybody's dead.
Dude, him and
including
Biehn have
this guy, Baby Mario Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him in things, and I can't remember what I know him from.
I went through it, and it was nothing I really knew. I was on your side where I could have sworn I knew him from something.
Maybe it's just from this, and I've seen it so much.
Could easily could be. But I did. We got to talk about the fucking back and forth of Ed Harris and Michael Biehn. Like how fucking amazing it was when he's like, "Look, you're surrounded. There's no hope. Put your guns down." He's like, "Look, I'm on your side. I agree with you, but you crossed a line." And I took an oath to, defend this country, domestic, foreign. And it is just two giants at this time having a fucking speech. Drop your guns. Beautiful. I will not repeat this order. I cannot give that order. Like just fucking getting it.
Yeah. It was absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Nic Cage and Sean Connery, the only ones left alive. I like when
the idiot baby Lopez could have been alive.
Yeah, Nic Cage kept telling him, "Don't climb up there," but he
what are
climbed
you
up there
gonna
and got
do?
fucking blasted. I did like. I like to think this is maybe a subtle nod when we cut back to the command center, and Forsythe is talking to the FBI director. And he's like, "I need to know what's going on or whatever," and he's telling him about like microfilm and all that stuff. He's like, "Yeah. I know all the Cloak and Dagger stories."
Oh, yeah. I hope that's a reference. Or it's just us loving that movie.
Okay, so I've seen this guy in a lot of things. It was Baby Mario Lopez, and it's mostly TV shows.
That makes sense. 90210 maybe.
No.
Is that how he's credited, Baby Mario Lopez? Because I hope so.
No,
I'm just a
Lieutenant
little
something.
baby Mario Lopez. I don't know no better.
He was on the
I wish
Rookie
I could get a
Castle,
wall.
Arrow, NCIS, and CSI. Like he's been in.
That's so
NCIS, CSI, JAG, FBI.
That's on CBS.
He's in every
Speaker for
CSI
TGIF. Stupid.
as different agents of different branches.
I'm surprised he wasn't in S.H.I.E.L.D.
But so Nic Cage tells Sean Connery about the missiles.
It's Benny Rodriguez from The Sandlot, fuckers.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
He didn't have his fast shoes on, so he died today.
Wow. Baby Lopez is Benny Rodriguez. Baby Benny Baseball Bonkers.
Wow, that's our second Sandlot alum in this month.
Wow. On accident, too.
Yeah.
You just
We're
didn't
just
look
that
far
good.
enough.
Yeah, I gave up once I saw how gorgeous he was.
He is beautiful. Even now.
Like Sean Connery's trying to leave, and Nic Cage tells him about the missiles and how they're gonna like wipe out the city, and
You got to do it for your
all
daughter,
this
bro.
stuff. And these dudes start dropping these like homemade bombs into these tunnels.
Yeah, burn
It's just
out
an
the rats.
excuse for a bunch of explosions, which is pretty cool.
I was in for it.
I mean, it's also an excuse for these guys to make bombs. Hey, we need you to smoke them out. And he's like, all right.
Apparently, when Nic Cage and Sean Connery go under the water and the explosion happens above them, like that's really them. There's a real explosion up there. It took a bunch of convincing for Michael Biehn to get them to do it. Nic Cage had a quote of something like, he's like, I wasn't super happy about it. Sean didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Harris is like, "God, it's
Yeah.
not me."
It's funny. I want to bring it up just because Michael Biehn is now dead, so he's out of the movie.
Oh.
But there was an interview with Ed Harris where he pointed out that he had worked with Michael Biehn before on The Abyss. And for those who listen to our Abyss episode or know about the stories behind it, the quote from Ed Harris was, that experience bound a lot of us together, almost like being in a war of some kind.
So that's why the speech was so good. It's like, look, I've been there with you. We spilt the same blood in the same mud. That mud's name is fucking James Cameron.
Fucking Jimmy Cameron tried to kill all of us.
All of you.
This is when Nic Cage is like, hey, I'm going to do my best to get these bombs disarmed. And that's when we get the line, the losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Carla was the prom queen.
Does he really say that? I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if
know?
it was I don't know if it was in the version we watched or if, because when that happened, Whitney was like, that's got to be your opening line.
Yeah.
So
That's
maybe
in
we just
that's in
missed it.
every version I've ever watched of this.
Because I don't remember it.
We're watching it again.
I wonder what the
We'll be right
TBS edit is. Losers whine about their best. Winners go home and forget the prom queen.
Winners go home and bake the prom queen. Excuse me? That's not better.
Winners go home and flick the prom queen. She's been naughty.
back. Date. How about date the prom queen?
Winners go home and find the prom queen in the Alps.
Losers go home and beat the prom queen.
But so they find the first rocket and Nic Cage disarms it. That's when we get this scene.
And
I mean, it looks fucking cool, right? Those two
Oh, yeah.
guys in their fucking Navy SEALs gear.
look,
with the
keep that
green-
picture
the
up
green
for a
bloobs.
second. All the fucking background of the overgrown wall, like it's cool set work too. It's a very
All the
fun
detail is
scene.
amazing.
Yeah, and I do love, like, Nic Cage has this really, the line means nothing other than to kind of, I guess, set up the very last thing where the little ball falls off. But he's like, it's a beautiful teardrop formation or whatever he says. He's like, our
String.
pearl necklace formation, but not very stable.
And
Yeah.
he's just holding it and like shits his pants right there.
I love it. It's like
Yeah.
back away, back away. This is my fucking expertise. This is where I come
So-
in. I went to school forever for this. Went to Harvard. Harvard.
Instead of trying
He's
to
on the
pull
bolting
the
crew.
pearls, carry the pearls into the
He's got
canister.
the whole pearl in his hand.
Why didn't he take the canister and put it under the pearls and raise it up?
That doesn't look as cool.
It looks cooler if you're doing the dangle.
Yeah, you got to have a dangle.
You got
to have a dangle.
Opposite dangle, we are asking you.
But
I'd stab my heart for you.
They're trying to get away. Some of the more Marines find them. They're trying to get away. They fall onto this mine cart. And there's like a Donkey Kong level.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Are we in a Disneyland ride? Like there's a minecart ride through Alcatraz."
Yeah.
This doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I'm like, wait, so are they making the prisoners mine underneath Alcatraz?
Yes.
That seems like it would compromise.
If
the
anybody
structural
listening
integrity.
can correct us, I don't think there was a mining system in Alcatraz. This is
Probably
the world's worst laundry room.
Yes.
What's in the minecart? My civvies, the whites, dude.
They crash at the end. Nic Cage ends up in the little Bowser container.
It's the bucket from it's
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Super Mario.
Yeah, just like at the end of Super Mario Brothers when Bob Hoskins is in there. And then Sean Connery is hanging off the end. Dr. Cox and one of the other guys comes down, and fucking Sean Connery just lights Dr. Cox on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, because one thing we missed is you get an ounce or 2 ounces of kerosene,
In a
strike
spray
anywhere,
bottle.
Matches, and a spray bottle.
It was in a spray bottle.
Or a squirt
And
bottle.
3 washers, which never came into play. That would have been great if you used this whole kit.
Yeah.
But it is cool.
It's a cut scene to keep it under 2.5 hours.
It's a good death for our Johnny C.
Yeah.
And then
He
the other
deserves
one
a
who
good
came with
death.
him, the other one who came with John McGinley was Tuco,
Mm-hmm.
because him and or there's, I think it's 2 of them, but Tuco and Nic Cage play a little bit of hot potato.
Yeah, they
Because
do.
Tuco tosses this grenade into the little mine
Counted
cart
as 4
thing,
seconds.
and he fucking tosses it back. Yeah,
Long grenades, dude. Long
this is like-
grenades.
they know there's 2 more people running around down there. They can't get a hold of their people, so they take one of the hostages, Larry Anderson or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
Weird dude.
Yeah.
Sure.
Got a gun to my head.
He's got a good performance of being distraught and crying, though.
It's because they told him this is not a movie. This is real. They were all under duress.
Like
for
Ed,
real.
Ed Harris is gonna kill you.
He got cornered in a room with Sean Connery all night and just had to listen to him talk. I'm going to do Dr. Seuss for you. Do you like Dr. Seuss?
But like, so Sean Connery gives
Fox. I like cocks.
Alexa, stop. She heard you.
Wait, what did I say that sounded like
I don't
her?
know, but you were the one talking, and then all of a sudden the Alexa robot started talking to us.
That's rad.
But yeah, they're threatening this hostage. So Sean Connery gives himself up so Nic Cage can go find the bombs.
This is where we get our first thumbs up because he's like, hey, Nicolas Cage says to Connery, what does he say? He's like, also, what about Larry's head? Like, we want to make sure that Larry's not dead. So what are we going to do about that?
No Larry dead. We want
And
Harry's.
he's like, what? Okay. What does that mean? What the fuck is thumbs up mean? I asked what
so
we're going to
maybe-
do about that. And you
Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to be Sean Connery's.
just don't forget about Larry.
But like, it's Sean Connery and Ed Harris facing off, and Sean Connery he's like, this is not combat, it's an act of lunacy, General Sir.
Because
They tell him he has to call him General Sir.
Green Mile was
Personally,
like, Green Mile told him,
go
like,
ahead.
address him as General Sir. So then when he insults him, like you're about to say,
I think you're a fucking idiot, General Sir.
General Sir, with all due respect, I didn't realize you were a fucking idiot. And I mean, with all due respect, General Sir.
He does get to the second bomb cage before he gets captured by these other guys. But luckily, Ed Harris wants him alive. One of these dudes I did recognize, he only gets like 2 face, like where you can see his face. This other black Marine.
Yes.
It's a guy named Steve Harris.
Yeah, I know him. Not personally.
I don't know what I knew him from. I looked at his credit on the actual credits of the movie, but I recognize him, and I can't think of what I know him from. I want to say it's TV. Oh, you know what? He was on Private Practice. That's the one that came
I
before
didn't actually
Boston
watch
Legal.
Private Practice.
It's the one that came before Boston Legal, right? It was Private Practice. He's one of the lawyers on there.
You're asking me
parents watched
questions
it.
I
watched-
cannot answer.
I was
watched
kind of just
Boston
talking
Legal.
out loud.
Okay, good.
That's how talking works. I was kind of thinking out loud.
There you go.
That's how talking works. Thinking out loud.
But they're both in jail cells. Sean Connery is doing this little rope thing to try to get the doors open.
Nicolas
This is when we get
Cage.
that Nic Cage. How in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of your cell?
Because he won't shut up because the actor
Well,
we're trying to remember.
he doesn't. He cusses twice. He says ass,
He says freak and
and he says, but most of the time he's like gee whiz and
Yeah.
Golly.
freaking and stuff like that. Yeah.
But he won't shut up, man, because the black guy's like, I'm gonna enjoy gutting you, boy. And he's just I'm gonna enjoy gutting you, boy. We're in here with a bunch of fucking sycophants, man. Bunch of happy fucking go lucky murderous machines.
Well, I love Sean Connery does get the doors, the cell doors open with his little contraption
like
he's
right
doing.
after he says the comment.
And because they apparently they stuck him back in his old cell. He's like, I know exactly how many T-shirts to tie together or whatever the fuck he's doing there. But he's like, trade secrets, boy. So there's 3 minutes left until the deadline for launching the bombs. Kramer calls. He's like, hey, we need another hour because we need final approval from the president to give you your money.
You got 3 fucking minutes.
Yeah. And they're like, nope, fuck that. We're
And
gonna
you
launch
start
the
to
missile.
see the descent from some of the bad guy, the bad guys, I guess we'll call them.
Yeah.
Tony Todd and
Yeah.
Melvin. Because they're like,
Melvin.
Melvin's just like, hey, TikTok, guess what time it is? He's like,
Fucking
I know what time it is. Just saying, General. Just saying. TikTok, my guys are ready to roll, sir.
Because Sean Connery says
Cock
that
locked and ready to cock.
he saw in Ed Harris's eyes that he's not a murderer. He's
I
not
read it in
gonna
his
kill.
eyes. You read it in his eyes? What the fuck does that mean?
And then Bokeem Woodbine is also like, he doesn't want to do this shit,
Yeah.
which we see here when they're about to launch. Like Ed Harris gives the orders, they go up to the roof. Bokeem Woodbine's like, dude, you guys, like, I know that like what happened is fucked up, but are we really about to kill a bunch of fucking civilians? And they're like, yeah, we are.
Happily. I'm Tony Todd. I'm deaf.
Sean Connery is like, look, he's not going to do it, so I'm going to fucking bounce before I have to go back to prison.
Yeah.
And I like Nic Cage is like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it myself. I've got 3 weeks of weapons training. I'll take on a whole battalion of Marines.
Right.
Yeah. Is this the part, or is it earlier when he's on the headset and everyone's like, dude, it's up to you. You got to do it. And he's like, well, Sean Connery's leaving. He's like, well, make him stay. Well, he has a gun.
Have a
What do
gun
you What do
also.
you have?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, all right.
That was
He's like,
earlier.
how's it going? Well, he has both guns now.
That was a fun part.
Bad news. Yeah. Okay. It was earlier. It's just fucking great.
This Marine gets Nic Cage and he's about to execute him, and Sean Connery saves him because he had, much like everybody else in this movie other than Tony Todd
And Melvin.
Melvin, he's having second thoughts.
It's Melvin from Renaissance Man, by the way. We're just, that's how we
Melvin.
know him.
It's a Melvin.
Melvin.
You need to watch.
You know what? This
Renaissance.
character is a Melvin, so
Yeah.
He
that's
is.
fine.
I
He
bet
is.
I would be shocked if his real name is not Melvin. Shocked.
But they do end up firing one of the missiles, but Ed Harris like secretly tippy tap changes the coordinates because this is supposed to go to a fucking football game.
Yeah.
I did kind of laugh and have a comment because they were like, "Oh, the missile's directly heading for Oakland," and I was like, "Man, ain't nobody gonna stop that."
What year is this?
This
Is the late
This is
90s?
96. This is the U.S. government. 1996. Oakland is primarily black.
Yeah, that's true. I was just trying to think of if Oakland was good back then. If they
that's where the Athletics fan Too Short lives.
Hmm.
You guys, I've told the story before, but
You told it recently.
It's
the earthquake documentary.
He's a
his name
fan
was
of
Captain
athletics.
Fry, by the way.
Melvin
and
Fry.
His name was Pastor Troy. What did you say his name was?
Captain Fry.
Oh,
Melvin is Captain Fry, and his real name is Gregory Sporletter.
Melvin spore letter, please.
Right.
Melvin is a spore letter word.
Gregory was my father.
Sergeant Crisp was Bokeem.
Ed Harris is basically just like, look, I wasn't ready to kill those people yet.
They called our bluff.
Because Baxter confronts him and he's like, well, I'm going to call for a new deadline. And I like Ed Harris. He's like, you're being told not to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you're being given an order by your superior officer. Okay, now you're being warned by a man with a gun.
Yeah, that scene was pretty dope.
But Tony Todd's right, dude, because he's like, look, I'm not a soldier anymore. I stopped being a soldier the moment we did this. We are now mercenaries. Mercenaries get paid. Where's my fucking money? Because he's right.
Yeah.
Like they're screwed now. They're going to go to jail or go to a non-extradition country that they're going to have not $1 million.
Yeah, I mean they're going to either Guantanamo Bay or Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how far you're. I mean, they're in San Francisco, so Cuba's pretty far.
I mean,
Where
they
are
might put
going?
Tony Todd in some Black Ops fucking wet work teams because he's good at killing and he likes it a lot.
Yeah, they're like, well, that guy was really excited about killing
Ooh,
civilians.
You Universal Soldier him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening to all these dudes.
Oh, there we go. All right.
But yeah, so they do mutiny against Ed Harris. And then there's this like crazy Mexican standoff.
Straw dog style.
So Ed Harris is holding his gun to Bokeem Woodbine, which kind of sucks because Bokeem is the one who's not 100%, but
Yeah.
he is
Right.
following what Tony Todd says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because he's a sergeant and Tony Todd's his captain.
Yeah, and Tony Todd and Melvin are holding their guns at Ed Harris. And then Baxter pulls out his gun and points it at Ed Harris, but then he shoots Tony Todd. And then
Wings him.
And then Ed Harris shoots
Bokeem.
Bokeem,
Right in
and
the
then
chest.
Tony Todd shoots Ed Harris. It's like the whole fucking, like it's a clusterfuck.
It's
I
a
think Baxter also hits Melvin.
it's a Rube Goldberg device of death, which is what Tony Todd is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is his origin
saw-
story. This is
I've
how he
seen
took
almost
over.
almost every Final Destination.
I've
movie.
seen
seen
like 2 or 3 of them.
Almost every minute of that first one.
I've got the box set of like all of the first 5 if you want to watch
I'm
them.
not saying it. Not saying, of
course you
course.
did.
I'm not saying it.
I didn't say on Blu-ray. It is on Blu-ray though.
Oh, damn it.
Of course it is.
But right before Ed Harris dies, he tells Nic Cage the location of the final missile, which is in the lower.
Because he's a good
lighthouse.
fucking guy.
Yeah, because he says during that whole conversation, he's like, "Look, we bluffed. They called our bluff. It's over."
We played our
Said we were
hand.
bluffing.
Yeah, and Tony Todd, who
Fucking-
said we were
I
bluffing?
think it was Melvin.
Oh, was it Melvin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Creepy gingers, man.
Hey. She's right, though.
So Nic Cage goes to the lighthouse. Tony Todd follows him there. And I love that he's just like, "Come on, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Come here.
on, guy. I can change."
I thought that was the worst part of the whole movie.
It just made me laugh because he's like, "I'm not gonna hurt you."
It's Tony
It's like
Todd.
this psychotic look on his face.
It's the most menacing voice in fucking
Nic Cage
cinema.
It is.
Nic Cage is like, "But I didn't say your name in the mirror."
I only said it twice. I got scared. I didn't say it the third time.
The third time I said Candy Ma.
Chicago.
Candy Ma. Candy Ma. You pull someone's heart out and it turns into a fucking candy cane.
Another menacing part from Tony Todd because Nic Cage is like, you know how this shit works, dude? You shoot us and we both die. Big old Jackhawk knife. You know how this shit works? Well, damn it. Now I crap myself.
And I mean, Nic
I
Cage
like what
is,
Nick does, though. He
yeah,
gets
his
them
his
lined up.
nerdy music nerd shit from earlier in the movie pays off. He's like, "Hey, you know that Elton John song, Rocket Man?"
I don't listen
Tony
to
Todd's like,
soft ass shit.
"Yeah," but I'm like, first of all, you know the song though. You live.
Not unless Korn covered it.
Tony Todd only listens to Korn and Above in the screaming department.
New metal only for Tony Todd's character. Not as a person, as a character.
You can't see it because he's wearing his full, his get up there, his Marines uniform, but he's got a Slipknot tattoo all down his arm.
He's got the Godsmack son.
It's
Oh, yeah.
all 9. It's all 9 dudes in Slipknot. It's their masks from shoulder to wrist.
On the opposite arm, he's got barbed wire.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Under the Godsmack
Mhm.
son.
But
Yeah.
I like this. I mean, you see
Godsmack
this
is in
coming.
barbed wire.
You see this coming, but he's like, "Well, now you're the Rocket Man."
It's
Just
you.
because
You are
he's
the
already
Rocket
pulled
Man.
the gas out of this rocket. So he launches Tony Todd out, and we get
Wow.
oh fuck, what's the one where the guy gets launched out of the window on a with a rocket launcher?
Oh, we just did it. Invasion USA.
No, that's not what I was thinking of. That works too. There's another movie where someone gets shot with a rocket. Oh, Kick-Ass. The first Kick-Ass, where he shoots the dude out. He shoots someone with a rocket launcher. They fly out the window, and then the rocket explodes above like the streets, and all of his parts come
Is
raining down.
it the Shadow where dude gets cannonballed?
Phantom.
That works too. The Phantom,
Right?
No, that was the Shadow. No, that was the
No,
Phantom.
it was Phantom.
Very similar.
Yeah, it was the Phantom. We did him in the
But
same.
yeah, he gets blasted out on this rocket, and he falls off the rocket before it explodes. But
Lands on.
fortunately, the rocket doesn't even explode because it wasn't fully armed. It just launches. Oh, we didn't mention that the other rocket, when it gets diverted, goes into the ocean.
And that's
so
what starts
now
the
no
whole-
one can swim ever.
Now
Yeah,
there's
you
some
can't
like
eat any
pseudo.
food from this.
There's some like pseudoscience that if it gets wet, it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, okay. So you just got to pee on someone who's VX gassed.
Oh yeah.
All right. No, the chemicals in
I
the
tell you,
pee
the first
react
thing
with
you
it
do,
and make it
you
worse.
when somebody gets this gas on them, you poop on them and you rub your poop on them. I've got a friend for you to do this to. Sly Stone is over there eating one of the golden little globes we have right now. He needs poop on him to save his life.
Oh no, I ate the glowing ball. Someone better poop on me.
I told you not to, but he did it anyway. Quick, get your pants off. Somebody who's had some chimichangas, get over here quickly.
Preferably Brandy Svenning there from Mallrats. I forgot the actress's name already.
Jade.
That
Claire
is, I met her
Forlani.
earlier. She is my friend's daughter. I could ask her. Hey, what are you doing? I heard you're a pretty crier. How are you? What do you look like when you're pooping?
It's pretty similar.
Okay, do it on my friend. It's to save his life.
But yeah, one of the little globes does fall off the chain thing. He just
Shit is
sticks
off
this
the
thing in like
chain.
he sticks this thing in a drain. Like I'm like, that is the least safe place for
Yeah.
that. Like,
Well, it's holding it. It's like a metal box.
yeah.
Nothing can
Huck
disturb
it into the water. It's fun.
Hopefully nothing fell on it when these fucking dudes bombed
You
this
put the
place.
lid back on the drain.
I do like Sean Connery lynching this dude with a chain.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he wraps because it's one of the Marines who's one of the huge dudes. He's like a bodybuilder. Dude
He's
or
in
Yeah, and then
something.
he's like, my dad is Irish, and I really wanted Sean Connery to be like, I'm fucking Scottish.
Well, I like how he's like, did I tell? Well, no, that's the thing. But he's like, did I tell you my dad was Irish? Like, no, we just met. You didn't tell me anything.
right?
And then,
When
hey,
would I have known
before I
this?
kill you, my dad is Irish and my mom is Welsh. All right, well, let's get the blindfold on him. Hey, did I
wraps-
guys molested when I was younger? No? Okay, well, I was. So let's, trauma dump
Are we
on
just
that.
trauma
Oh,
dumping?
also good to meet you.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
But dude, he wraps that
Did you
chain
want that
around
biggie
this.
sized?
We can biggie size your trauma with spicy nuggets.
But he wraps that chain around that dude's neck and just throws like the counterweight part, whatever, like the reel it's on, down that well. It's pretty fucking cool.
He should have looked and been like, the Irish are pussies.
Yeah,
But, like-
something like that.
There's a chase scene with Melvin and Nic Cage and
Melvin.
Melvin,
Oh, Melvin.
and it's up on the rooftop, and he just shoves
Click,
this
click,
fucking
click.
up on the rooftop
With Nick.
VX gas.
Oh,
Up on the rooftop, VX gas. We're gonna shove it up your ass.
Look at him.
I'll go
Proud of
second.
you.
But he shoves this fucking glowing ball into this dude's mouth and smashes it, and the dude starts to fucking Raiders of the
Melt.
Lost Ark.
He
Mhm.
melts.
And yeah, we get the F-18 pilots because the president approved an airstrike. We missed that.
They
So the
have
F-18 pilots are coming in.
because it has a thing that burns hotter than napalm, so it can actually eliminate the VX gas because napalm
Yeah,
doesn't burn hot enough.
plasma, something.
You betcha.
I don't know.
Science.
You betcha.
They haven't tested it, so they're 100% sure it'll work.
It has to, otherwise we're
But yeah,
fucked.
one of these F-18 pilots is credited as Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Jesus.
Oh, that's
Also,
right.
that show he was talking about, Person of Interest.
I never
And-
watched the Passion of Christ.
Well,
yet.
you said you watched the Person of Interest show. He's
I
the
did
main
watch.
guy.
Yeah. Also, he's
Oh,
got that
yeah.
movie that we'll probably have to talk about at some point just because of the bonkersness that surrounds it. But the Sound of Silence or Sound of Freedom.
Oh, that came out like last year. It's like his human trafficking.
It came out in
Jesus movie.
2018.
Oh,
But
okay. I'm thinking of a
then-
different one.
No. It's the same one. It came out in 20. It was finished in 2018 and had like the smallest screening, so it got re-released to try and dredge up a little something. That, like I said,
It's-
bonkers surroundings.
It's one of those Angel Studios movies. Like when we go to the movie theater and you see those posters for a movie you've never heard of, where the poster looks pretty cool. Look at the logo; it'll say Angel Studios. That's this like super Christian studio. that puts out all these movies, and then they basically buy the tickets to their own movies and give them away to people so that the movie stays in theaters.
They got
I don't really
sued.
understand how it works.
They got sued because they were taking movies and editing out sex scenes and cursing and then re-releasing them as their own studio.
Wow.
So
They were pretty cool, but
censorship is
It's-
awesome.
yeah, that's Blockbuster. But this is a really fucking tense scene. Like Nic Cage remembers, like, hey, you're supposed to pull these flares, these green flares.
Because he gets his fucking fix all. You know, stabs himself and
he
he's
black medical books himself.
there
Draws a
you
little
go.
red dot, and he goes out to try to hold these flares up. The F-18s are coming in. They see the green flares at the last second. These watcher guys, spotter guys, and they're like, "Okay, abort!" And he's like, "I already dropped the bombs."
Whoops.
Right?
But it's a fucking epic shot.
Yeah.
It is.
Nick Cage holding those flares with the F-18s coming in, and then like obviously what's not here is they like swoop up. I mean, it looks like 20 feet in front of his face.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
right on the
Michael-
edge of that cliff.
Michael Bay does do good things. Like that's a fucking terrific shot. This is a good movie.
The problem isn't his movies; it's just that they lose.
When you do it
They
too
lose
much,
any
it
context.
loses its gusto.
Yeah, it's just
This
like,
one at
even
least
this
has
one,
a story.
even this one, which is good. When the action would get going and it would go for a while, the car chase, like this scene, I started feeling myself losing the thread because it's like there's too
the
much
Rambo
going
3.
on.
It's the Rambo
Yeah.
3. We're like, dude, I get it. A helicopter blowing shit up is cool. It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, like the good thing I can say, I'm not a big fan of the Avatar movies, but the good thing I can say about that first one is it also has like 25-minute long action scenes, but you can follow everything and it's engaging.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bay, I think it's the quick cuts and stuff. They get shorter and shorter as the action starts, and it
It
gets harder to
does.
follow what's happening, and you just kind of lose the
Disassociate.
thread. You're just watching Boom Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Boom Boom, these bombs drop on Alcatraz,
Yeah, they do.
the biggest badaboom of the movie,
Which is
And that's
saying
something.
saying something.
yeah. And but they were able to because they moved the planes or did something, the bombs didn't hit the actual cells. They hit the back of the island, so nobody's dead.
0 casualties. I mean, hostage wise, a lot of people are dead.
Nick Cage gets knocked into the water, and Sean Connery saves him.
I'm tired of saving your ass.
I'm tired of shaving your ass.
I'm tired of shaving your ass.
I'm not going to shave your ass ever again. I'm never going to shave. No, shave, not shave. I'm trying to shave you, not shave you.
I'm tired of shaving ass.
Man, look at that. He needs 2 hairstylists for that outfit.
But yeah,
makes
all
me
the
happy,
hostages are alive. They ask about FBI director asks about Mason. Nick Cage does the hesitate, gives him a look, and he's like, he's dead. And he does tell them
He
when they come, they're like,
vaporized.
where's the body? They're like, oh, vaporized.
That can happen?
That really happened? Yep.
Oh yeah, when
And then-
the bombs
Fight me.
get it, they can vaporize the body. Have you never heard of this? I thought you were a murderer. Didn't you work for Kissinger? God, his magic murder bag.
When this started wrapping up, I was like, okay, here comes all the endings and all the wrap up. But no, it's actually really we do get a wrap up, but it's a really good wrap up.
Yeah.
It's just Nick Cage and his girlfriend, well, now wife,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
going to whatever this location is in Kansas, I think it was,
Uh-huh.
and stealing this thing to start his national treasure
Yep.
career.
Hey, honey, you want to know who killed JFK? It was the aliens.
Wait, does he have a kid in that? No, that's just that dude who looks like the dude from Tremors 2,
Yeah.
yeah.
but isn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have a
Um,
kid. He can't get a hard on for anything that's not 100 years old.
The kid died.
His wife left him and took the kid. Maybe the kid died. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
And because
He didn't
he
go
was
to
still
full term.
treasure hunting, and she's like, I can't with this shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Much like his dad.
Or it wasn't his kid. It was Sean Connery's.
But I like the ending. He's looking at the microfilm and he's like, honey, you want to know who really killed JFK? Credits. And I'm
I would spend
but,
days
yeah.
combing over this.
like, I'm going to give this to the
Months.
government. Like, I work for the FBI, but like,
Yeah,
they
but
don't have to
does
know
he?
we got it today.
Not anymore. He's retiring and he's going to fucking start a treasure hunting business based on the information he can sell in the microfilm, the microfish.
The microfish.
And that's it.
That is it.
Gotta boom.
Big bada boom.
I'm gonna start
Go ahead.
because I can. Yes, 1,000% full recommend for me. I loved this so much. I loved it when I watched it in 1996. I loved it when I watched it today.
I loved it in 97. I loved it in 98. I loved it in 99. I took off 2000.
I've probably seen this a total of like 20 times, honestly.
Yeah.
I loved it all four times. I watched it in 2003.
It's one of those you can watch and then you can have it on at a party because every time you look, you're like, oh, this scene. Like you don't even need sound on. Just have it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get the full Cage factor without sound, but you get enough of the movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love when he cages out.
Because he doesn't do his like unhinged Cage per se.
His
but he gets
moments,
real
he
fucking
has
close.
glimpses of it, but he's always reined in.
Like when the
I
guys
lost
are
my
shooting
cool
him, and
back
he's like,
there a little bit,
I
but I'm
love
fine."
pressure. I love pressure.
Yeah.
I am the greatest.
I lost my cool there for a bit, but it's fine.
I still didn't cuss.
Jack?
Yeah, I fully recommend. I mean, I'm with Whitney. I've enjoyed this movie for a long time. It will forever remind me of my friend Kendra, one of her favorite movies. And
Nice.
yeah, when I went to put it on, it said start over. I was like, well, I wonder how long do I watch this? But it could have been, as Whitney was saying, it could have been just like a drunk night, like background noise, or while I was cooking or something. Because you can pop in and out. And I do, yeah, it's going to be a while before I rewatch it, just based on it being over 2 hours. And that's fine. The points that Derek talked about are fun to talk about, like how we could cut this, that, and the other, but it still survives that. So recommend it.
Yeah.
Do you need caveats?
No, they help. I mean, like you don't need the caveats, but this will also work with the caveats.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend it too. One of the few Michael Bay movies I would give like a hearty recommend.
Yes.
Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, yes, you do get lost in the action at certain points. The action is good. It's just like, maybe it's just because I'm getting old. I don't know. But it's like certain things. It's just like when you get to be where it's just too much constant action, I just get malaise. I don't know. Like, I just lose what I'm doing.
But I think it's what you're saying though, because like, look, we just did Invasion USA, which has a lot of action, a lot of big badabooms, yada yada. It doesn't have quick cuts and shaky cam. So I think that's to the point you mentioned earlier. It's just too much of that, and that lulls you to sleep.
Yeah,
literally.
But I do enjoy it. I mean, I've seen it. This is probably only like my fourth time seeing it.
Oh wow,
so not like 20 times.
That's
but
pretty
like,
low.
Yeah, I've seen it. I like it, and I'll probably always like it. It's just a really fun movie. You know, it's that early Michael Bay. I don't remember what we said on Bad Boys. I feel like we gave it a recommend, maybe a soft.
I think I always
long.
recommend that movie.
I remember it.
But like,
I recommended it.
She recommended it.
I'm sober.
That's the
Might
problem.
be my problem.
But it's like Bad Boys 2, this,
What
and
you gonna
Pain and
do?
Gain.
What you gonna do? When
That's
they
what I
come
can like
for
give
you?
a hearty recommend from Michael Bay.
Yes.
And we haven't done Bad Boys 2 yet, so stay tuned one day.
Or
Hey,
3
we
or
already
4.
recommended The Big Hit too.
Yeah. No,
But that's not Bay.
Michael Bay.
Oh,
That's just Mocky Mock.
Yo, bro, I fucking did my own stunts in that movie. Probably not.
Where the fuck is Lou Diamond Phillips?
He's eating the script in the
He
corner.
is chewing the scenery out from under you, you idiot.
Did Lou Diamond Phillips just eat that hotel?
Oh, I liked him better than La Bamba.
La Bamba. That
He's
is
so
how he would
fucking
say
good
it
in La
too.
Bamba. You see that fucking movie La Bamba? I know it's like La 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 Bamba. Fucking Reggie Valens.
It's weird how much of that movie didn't take place in L.A. because it's called L.A. Bamba.
It's Para Labar. Para Balar La Bamba.
La Bamba, that's what I said. Hey, I love that the whole country fucking loved him so much. He got his own day, Ricky Valentine's Day. I fucking love that day. Every February 14th, we get together and we sing La Bamba. What do you do with your fucking
We're gonna
time?
celebrate it as it's Ricky
Oh,
Valentine's
fuck.
Day.
That's what's happening next Valentine's Day. The next time a Valentine's Day lands on a Monday.
We're doing La Bamba.
But it's not a Tucson movie.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I recommend it. Technically, last week was the end of listener request month, so this is the end of April. It's going to be Bay, which is the joke because it's going to be May. And in May, we're doing Mental Health Month again, where we each get to pick a mental health movie, something that we watch to make ourselves feel better when things are feeling extra shitty.
Which, I mean, we have plenty of those times coming up, so.
So we've all three got choices for that. Plus, we have a schlock and load that we agreed on. That's a mental health schlock and load.
Did we agree on it?
Yeah, you just don't
Was I
remember.
involved?
Yeah. And we don't know what our Patreon for next month will be because we're letting the patrons choose that.
Yeah.
So as of recording this, we don't know what it will be.
Come on, Drew, Chris, Hector, Double D, Wes,
Bleeps.
Bleeps.
Damn it. I don't have everybody's names here, but come on, guys.
Thank you to all
no,
of you,
we've-
by the way.
By the time this comes out, we've already chosen. And speaking of Patreon, go to patreon.com/worstpeople. For only $3 a month, you get the bonus mental health episode every month. Plus, you get Latchkey Vids, where we talk about forgotten or never known TV shows from the 90s.
That's as many bucks as Whitney was born with thumbs, just so you know.
Generally, we are talking about cop rock right now. However, for this month, April, we are taking a break from cop rock.
on to your
Sadly.
booties.
And taking-
a good fun.
talking about one episode, the only episode of Heil Honey, I'm Home.
It's
The
almost
Hitler-based sitcom.
It's almost like the world wasn't ready for a Hitler-based sitcom in the 90s. Almost.
Hey, it was past 25 years.
Is that the rule?
That's what South Park says.
It's a thing where it's Hitler and Ava Braun living in this apartment, and their neighbors are Jewish. And
It's
from
very
some
Leave
of the
It to
stuff I
Beaver.
read. Some of
Yeah.
the stuff I read was, I think the big inspiration was I Love Lucy, and from some of the stuff I read, they filmed like 6 episodes. They were just never aired.
You've got some
But one of the-
explaining to do.
One of the plot threads was apparently going to be how Hitler wanted to kill his Jewish neighbors. So
Woo.
that's what we're talking about this month on Latchkey Vids.
Give us a try,
Wow,
baby.
let's hope we don't get canceled. They'd have to pay to cancel us.
I kind of jumped around because next month we don't know Patreon. This month we do. This month's mental health episode is Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight
Oh, yeah.
with Billy Zane, Jada Pinkett Smith, Dick Miller, that guy who looks like he has to poop,
Mm-hmm.
some demons,
Mm-hmm.
directed by Ernest Dickerson. Great movie. We're going to be talking all about
Got
that.
nerves, dude.
We've probably already talked all
It
about
has
that. so.
Billy Zane.
Such a zaniac.
Doing sexy stuff with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Well, Jada Pinkett at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so check out patreon.com/worstpeople. Also check out Han Took Shots First, hantook-shots-first-pod.com, or anywhere you get podcasts. But when this comes out, we'll be just about to dive into season 2 of Andor, which is airing on Disney Plus starting April 22nd. And we'll be talking about all 12 episodes of that. We just wrapped up talking about Empire Strikes Back. And then when we're done with Andor, we'll start talking about Return of the Jedi.
Woo. Yeah.
Because I have nothing but free time.
Mhm.
So let's wrap this up so I can go start editing. I've been Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm the prom queen.
It's you. You're the Rocket Man.
Losers whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck your grandma. Because your grandmother was prom queen. But your grandfather was not prom king.